And now, a special presentation of the Outside Blitz. Here are your hosts, the Cannonball Alex Steele, the fabulous Scotty Fraytown, and the Bootleg Bettor.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Outside Blitz. I'm your host, the fabulous one, Scotty Fraytown. Joining me from the Traverse City, the beautiful Traverse City, the Steele Twin Studio, the wonderful, amazing, the Cannonball, Alex Steele. Alex, welcome back to the show.
Hey, what up, doe?
Yeah, how's it going? And week 2 is in the books. And also to my left, joining us once again for the first time in 2 weeks. He was a little under the weather last week, but that's okay, because we're back, large and in charge, the one, the only, who better to be than the Bootleg Bettor. Boots, welcome back to the show.
Well, I'm that 5-star recruit that's going straight to the league with God-given talent, no tricks up my sleeve. Some won't believe that Buffalo might win it. Well, Kansas City told me they'll be back in a minute. I almost called Edgar Bennett just to kick some facts when Micah Parsons got traded. So watch out for the pack. Detroit looks silly, like damn near hilarious. 7 Mile was screaming, just call Darius. Minnesota started JJ with no regret. Well, now it's Carson Wentz that's got to throw it to Jettis. Chi-Town, stand up. I know you felt shame, but it'll be a long year if you ride that L train. Still got the juice, Fraytown, count G's, but I'm the Bootleg Bettor. Beat me, please. I said what I said.
Ooh, an Edgar Bennett poll.
Amen.
Man, Edgar Bennett.
Thank you, Pop.
There's a name.
Yeah,
Good.
what up? He's dropping bars this week.
Let's go.
He's fired up. I mean,
Rapid fire.
We're back for the first time, you know, and I'm excited. It's the regular season. Regular season's rocking and rolling. Week 2 is in the books. We've got all kinds of stuff to handle. We got stuff going on around the league. We're gonna jump in, fellas.
Wait a minute.
Hang on, we're waiting.
You know, celebrated my anniversary.
Did you now?
Yes.
Sure, Boots. Had a wonderful time.
Where'd you go?
Went to London Chop House.
Oh,
yeah,
fancy.
Got a doorman there.
Yeah,
she paid him $20 to keep me out. I'm telling you, but it's wonderful. There's service right there, man. They walk right up to the table, cut my credit card right in half.
No thanks.
Right in front of me. This is declined juice.
Yeah, oh boy.
And I said, I got 2 questions. Can I get another glass of water, and where's the bathroom?
Yeah, that's it.
Damn near tore my suit off climbing up that window. I don't know how she got home.
Yeah, she snuck out of there somehow.
Talk about that. That dishwater messed up my manicure. What you want me to do?
Bootleg Bettor's here all week, guys. Enjoy the veal.
I
Tip the waitress.
I appreciate it. Well, folks, week 2, we got it in the books. We started recording these. Where it's September the 18th. It's a Thursday. It's just before Thursday night football.
Thankful Thursday.
Yeah, thankful Thursday. It's we've got a couple hours till Thursday night football kicks off, so we're going to be really riled up for that. But let's jump into these scores real quick. Here are your scores for week 2 in the NFL, starting out with the Commanders and the Packers. The Packers go out and beat the Commanders 27-18. Jaden Daniels, man, 24 for 42, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. He also led his team in rushing, which was a little interesting. 17 yards on 7 carries. I mean, it wasn't necessarily super effective. Zach Ertz, another good week for the Commanders this week. 6 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 5 for 48, still finding his footing. Deebo Samuel, 7 for 44 and a touchdown. Meanwhile, for the Packers, Jordan Love, 19 for 31, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 23 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. Wasn't super efficient, but he got 3.7 average on the ground, but still put up 84 yards. Tucker Kraft, man, 6 receptions for 124 yards and a touchdown. Dontavian Wicks, 4 for 44. And Malik Heath, 1 for 37. I mean, look, Jordan Love has looked really good in the last 2 weeks. He's been efficient. He's been playing, mistake-free football across the board. It wasn't the most pretty game this game, but they got it done against the Commanders team that was really good last year. And also, Jaden Daniels, by the way, does not look like Jaden Daniels of yesteryear. Am I wrong here?
No, first of all, I'll say this. That game was pretty much Packers start to finish.
Yes.
It looked, the final score
makes it look a little bit better.
Mm.
But the fact was, the Packers were ahead of that. They were ahead the entire time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right. In Washington's heads, definitely, because they didn't seem like they were in any kind of a groove. I mean, you look at those rushing numbers from Ja'Cory Cross-Demerritt. This is the guy who scored a touchdown the week before, right?
Yeah.
And now he just disappeared from the entire game plan.
Yeah, it was strange. They abandoned the run
completely.
I mean, you had Austin Eckler. He had 8 carries, and then he had the Achilles. Yeah. And then you had Cross-Demerritt, who only had 4 carries on the day, which is just strange.
How did that happen?
He was so efficient week 1.
Yeah.
And it's like they just randomly wanted to get away from it. And if you look at the box score, I mean, Washington only had 3 points on the board until the fourth quarter. Yeah. I mean, the Packers, you're right. They dominated this game. I mean, it was all Packers all day. Micah Parsons wreaking havoc. And even, you know what's crazy? He's wreaking havoc with a very small sample size. He's not on the field. He's only on the field for, 29 snaps?
If that.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty efficient. Right? I mean,
that's what's called he's a game changer at the defensive end position. Chess piece, as they've been calling him.
Yeah.
Because you see Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator of the Packers, maneuvering and using Micah Parsons in a different fashion than even you saw in Dallas. Similar, but kind of different. And like against Detroit, they had him lined up like a middle linebacker at one point.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, so this is one of those deals that you look at Rashawn Gary on the other side. Now teams have to be even more aware of the defensive ends and the defensive prowess of the Packers.
Yeah, I agree. It's an interesting thing to see what they're and what teams are having to do to account for those two guys, because Rashawn Gary, much like Detroit needs now, they needed a compliment for Rashawn Gary, and they got it. Yeah. And Detroit needed a compliment for Aiden Hutchinson, and they didn't. And you see, it's two different worlds here, right?
Please call Zadarius.
Yeah, well, you can't anymore because he's with the Eagles. You know, I mean, it's just wild. I mean, the Commanders, man. I mean, Zach Ertz still looks like Zach Ertz, but Terry McLaurin.
Jay Daniels loves throwing to Zach Ertz.
Yeah, but Terry McLaurin in this situation, we're seeing a very Ayuk-like year for a guy that missed training camp, right? This is what we've sort of grown to expect from those situations.
Yeah, when you're missing that time. You're missing that chemistry, but Debo's there every day, right? And Jay Daniels and Debo Samuel are getting on the same page. Well, now Terry, you're back in the building too. Okay, well, let's try to get him involved. And then, the game plan is sort of skitter scatter shot all game long.
Yeah, and the Commanders, they
cannot serve two masters.
I agree. And the Commanders, they've got some injury problems now. I mean, first of all, running back Austin Eckler, he suffered a torn Achilles on Thursday night. So, I mean, he's placed on season-ending IR. I mean, and Alex, is this
no?
Yeah, is this the golden opportunity for Bill Krosky?
Absolutely. I mean, if you have Bill Krosky in your fantasy team just sitting on the bench, you might want to consider holding on to him. Or there's a golden opportunity to get a good thing to trade for him, because this man is about to break out. It's very exciting. I think you really need to keep your eye on this kid. He shocked us during preseason. He really impressed, and then he impressed in week 1. So if the Commanders decide to go back to the run, I mean, Bill Krosky is about to introduce himself to the world here.
Wait.
You don't like him?
I love Ja'Cory Cross-Demerritt.
Yeah.
Who the is Bill McCroskey?
Well, no, hang on.
Tell me this. I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm like, who is Bill?
Well,
his name is Ja'Cory Cross-Demerritt.
Ja'Cory Cross-Demerritt had told the world that he wants to be called Bill, is what he prefers his name to be. Bill. That's what he said. So everybody has been calling him Bill Krosky for the last 3 weeks. So what a very popular show out there, and one that Alex and I both like to listen to. It's known as the Fantasy Footballers. Right. They said it's Bill Krosky, and they've been coming up with all these different jokes about Chuck Norris, Chuck Norris type jokes.
He can kill two stones with one bird.
Bill Krosky, he can slam a revolving door.
All right.
Get excited for old Bill Krosky. Come on.
Your Corey Krosky Barrett. I'm used to it. I've watched it when he was in Arizona with the Wildcats, late night Pac-12 football when it was the real Pac-12.
Yep.
And then he shined in the East-West Shrine Bowl.
He did.
And got his opportunity and went to work in that first week, and then they forgot about him in Green Bay.
Yeah. Well, now Bill Krosky, he's over there with the Commanders. We're going to see. I mean, now that Austin Eckler is no longer in the picture, I mean,
that's too bad for Austin Eckler.
It is. It is. And to be frank with you, because given his age, given the injury history for Austin Eckler, I do think we're headed toward a situation where this might be kind of curtains for Austin Eckler. I think his career might be just about wrapping up here with this injury. I mean, this is one that you don't easily come back from, though.
Especially at the running back spot.
Yep.
Like you say, with his age and recent injury history, those concussions last season.
Yep. He's got history of concussions. He's got, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he tore his ACL at one point. I mean, like he's got all kinds of injury history, whether it was with the Chargers or with the Commanders. I'm with Alex here. I think Bill Krosky, I think he's going to wind up tearing it up. But they got a problem here because now quarterback Jaden Daniels, he reportedly won't be practicing earlier than tomorrow, which is Friday. His status remains unclear due to a knee injury. If he is out for this upcoming week, it means Marcus Mariota would draw the start versus the Raiders. So, I mean, we might see Marcus Mariota, the old veteran, making his way onto the field. That's a little problematic for the Commanders, is it not?
It is and it isn't because as we'll talk about, during the late night game with the Raiders, which is the last one on the docket, Geno Smith, he ain't it. And so really I would not be pressing the panic button if Marcus Mariota draws the start. Obviously you got to worry about Max Crosby. He's the most effective defensive player they have. But at the same time, you kind of hope that, I fall into two different schools of thought, and obviously they're obvious schools of thought. But on the one hand, you want Jaden Daniels to rest up, get healthy, so that you can be ready for the rest of the season and into the playoffs. But part of you also like, well, we kind of need him on the field, but I honestly, I don't think that there's a reason to panic with this injury. Heal up, get it fixed. That way, you're good to go for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Mariota come in a couple of times in the last couple of years and did so very effectively. So we're gonna see if Mariota can be that guy if he has to come onto the field. The Commanders did make a move. They went out and signed defensive end Preston Smith to a 1-year deal. I actually like this signing a lot. Veteran player, 34 years old. He's been in the league 11 years. This is a good signing for them. They needed an edge rusher. They need a little more edge help. They needed help on the defensive side of the football, and they get it in Preston Smith. I like this signing. Boots.
I mean, it definitely fills a need, but again, it underscores the advanced age, we shall say, of the defense of the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say this, though. Get better Dietrich Wise with that injury. Horrible for him.
Yeah.
They just signed him in the offseason, but horrible for him. And I don't know. I mean, Marcus Mariota, he'll give you, again, 2-3 games, and this is what you'll need, but this is probably the best spot to put Mariota in to play against the Raiders, and you're at home.
Right.
So,
yeah,
this is probably the best spot. If it were Philly, right?
Yeah.
Jay Daniels would be playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And you got you got games against the Falcons and the Chargers to kind of round that out. So you might be able to hang on until you got that showdown with the Bears on the 13th.
Yeah, I think so.
They're staring 1 or 2 of the things.
I think so. Next up, let's talk about this Cowboys-Giants game. What a shootout. This game got crazy, quick, fast, and in a hurry. The Cowboys go out and beat the Giants 40-37 by a field goal in overtime. I didn't have this game being this close on my bingo card, and I also didn't have Russ Wilson going 30 for 41 for 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick.
He'll always do that, right?
Yeah, just randomly.
Every year he will do that a few times, 2 or 3 times.
But you know who used to do that too was Ben Roethlisberger. He would do it all. He'd put up a 500-yard game, and you're like, "What the hell happened?"
Yeah.
You know. But in this case, I mean, Russ Wilson goes off. Cam Scatterbo gets in the end zone. He's 11 for 45 and a touchdown. He had a 4.1 average on the day. Russ also had 3 carries for 23 yards in this one. Receiving wise, Malik Neighbors, dear Lord, 9 receptions, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, including a bomb for a touchdown.
Oh, also, yeah, it was pretty. Put it in his shirt pocket.
Also, Wan'Dale Robinson, 8 receptions for 142 yards and a touchdown. He also had a bomb in this one for a touchdown. Darius Slayton, 2 receptions for 61 yards. Meanwhile, on the Cowboys side of things, Dak Prescott, 38 for 52, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Javonte Williams, 18 carries, 97 yards. He had a 5.4 average on the day, and he had a touchdown. Dak also had 3 carries for 17 yards. He had a 5.7 average on the day. CeeDee Lamb, doing CeeDee Lamb stuff. 9 receptions, 112 yards. Jake Ferguson, 9 receptions for 78 yards. George Pickens, 5 for 68 and a touchdown. Pickens really got involved in this game late, by the way. Kavonte Turpin, 4 receptions for 47 yards and a touchdown. And then Javonte Williams adds another 6 receptions for 33 yards. The Cowboys spreading the ball out quite a bit here. Javonte Williams, you know, I'm waiting for the moment when he gets hurt, but since he's been healthy, Javonte Williams has looked like his former self.
And who said that?
Yeah, well,
I said, listen.
I
wait,
hang on.
Talk about it.
Hang on, you got to do it now.
Well.
What did I say?
Thank you.
There you go.
I've said for weeks, and whoever's been listening, whoever would dare to listen to me, I have said if Javonte Williams is as good as he was prior to the injury, can he come back to at least as close to 100% and be that guy when he came into the league? And I think we're seeing it.
Yeah, he's looked damn good for a couple of weeks now. I mean, we're talking about 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks. I mean,
the explosiveness, the power, the vision, the balance. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me.
Yeah, 5.4 average. I mean, nothing to sneeze at. He had a hell of a week 1 to start off the season. We didn't have that on our bingo card, but now we didn't have this on our bingo card. And he had over 100 yards, over 120 yards from scrimmage.
Right.
He had 130 even. So I mean, it's pretty interesting to see Javonte looking like the Javonte of old. The New York Giants, man, hey, listen, I didn't think they were going to give a whole lot of problems to the Dallas Cowboys, but they made this game a game. Kudos to Brandon Aubrey for putting this thing away with that big leg of his. He's the best kicker in football. Let's just admit it at this point.
And why? I got 2 questions. One, I'm not the only one who has asked this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. I'm the only one on this show about to ask. What are you doing, Mike Dabo? Talking right to you, directly to you. What are you doing putting Jackson Dart in a game in the 4th quarter and Russell Wilson that's out there balling?
Yeah.
Moonball touchdown.
Yeah.
Moonball touchdown. Russell Wilson is doing his thing. Like, this is what you brought him in here to do, right? Now let's take him out, put Jackson Dart in. You know why he did that? Because if Jackson Dart if they had scored a touchdown with Jackson Dart, he would have had the green light to go ahead and pull Jackson Dart and bring him and make him the starter for the rest of the season.
Yep.
Now they're going to put this loss on Russell Wilson because he threw the pick at the end, which he did.
Yep.
But what?
He shouldn't have been pulled in the first place.
Thank you.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been pulled in the first place.
Thank you.
We know that. And the Cowboys
don't know. Oh, the other question is, what's Shane Bowen doing?
Yeah.
Playing that prevent whatever defense he called.
I
don't care what it was. It was a stupid defense.
Deep
call.
zone or whatever.
What are you doing?
Dak running up the seam and sliding and doing his own end of game pose, to ice the game. And
CeeDee Lamb is a zone killer.
Yeah, we're watching this game, and my buddy and I were watching, and I said, "Why are they playing so far off the ball?" Yeah, like that was the question. That why are they playing so far off? And they were giving up everything underneath.
Right.
They give up the big run to Dak, let him do whatever he wants, and it was that I didn't even like I was so, because we had the picture-in-picture on, so I didn't even recognize at first because I wasn't even looking at the game. And then he goes, "Why are they playing so far off the ball?" And I go, "Which one?" He goes, I go, "Oh, over in Dallas." I go, "I don't know what the fuck they're doing." It's sort of baffling. Yeah, didn't understand it. And they're going to have even more problems here because now they've got Cooper Beebe, their starting center, who we love, by the way. Cooper Beebe, he's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks due to a high ankle sprain suffered in that win over the Giants. So
no!
Yeah, exactly. So Dak Prescott going to be dealing with that. But the good news for them is they did make 2 key signings. First of all, the Cowboys signed offensive guard Tyler Smith to a 4-year, $96 million extension, $24 million per year. He gets $81.2 million guaranteed. It makes him the highest paid guard in all of football. Resets the market there. Tyler Smith's worth it, don't you think?
I'm tiptoeing out the bank. Hope you don't speak to me.
What up, boss? Yeah, he's definitely worth it. And you, once again, you have to solidify your offensive line. A few years ago, remember when the Cowboys had the best offensive line?
Oh, yeah.
5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yep.
And it has slowly worn away.
It's been deteriorating.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So now this is a great decision by Jerry Jones and the front office to do this amidst the debacle that was the Micah Parsons trade.
Yep, but they do kind of fix that edge rushing type of situation this week after they struggled to get to Russell Wilson. They've been struggling to get to the quarterback. They go out and sign defensive end Jadeveon Clowney to a 1-year, $3.5 million deal. They get him on a dime. Clowney can be a very disruptive player when he's healthy, and we've seen it in the past. We saw it with when he was with Baltimore for a minute. We got to see it when he was with the Browns for a minute. I mean, we got to see it when he was with the Texans when he was healthy. I mean, when Jadeveon Clowney is healthy, he's one of the better defensive ends in all of football. He's a pure hand in the dirt defensive end. That's where he plays his best, and that's exactly what the Cowboys need. They need some edge pressure, don't they?
Mercenary, go get the quarterback.
Yep, that's it. I agree. And they get him for cheap,
but I'm
here for it.
But he's not at the same level of Micah Parsons at this point.
No,
right?
Not at all.
But in that Eberflus system, may be able to use him in some sort of different way. But they're going to be playing a lot of man-to-man. And if you can get that ball out quickly and beat those man defenders, then it will eliminate the threat of Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, let's talk about the Seahawks beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-17. Man, kind of a weird game. This was a weird game, by the way. Yeah. First of all, Sam Darnold, 22 for 33, 295, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks on the day. Kenny Walker, after just the abysmal week 1 he has, comes out with 13 carries for 105 yards and a touchdown. He had an 8.1 average on the day. I guess he got sick of hearing all about Zach Charbonnet and how it was a breakout year for him. Jackson Smith-Njigba, man, he's become the wide receiver 1, no doubt, over there. 8 receptions, 103 yards. He had a 12.9 average on the day. Cooper Kupp, 7 receptions for 90 yards. And Torrey Horton, a guy that we talked about on the show, he has 2 receptions for 32 yards and a touchdown. And also, let's talk about A.J. Barner. They're actually getting their tight ends involved. First of all, Elijah Arroyo, who we talked about on the show in the offseason, 2 receptions, 31 yards. A.J. Barner, former Michigan man, 2 receptions for 26 yards. He gets in the end zone with a touchdown. And then Walker adds a catch for 13 yards, too. So the Seahawks getting a lot of their skill position players involved. Meanwhile, as for the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, 18 for 33, 203 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks on the day. Mason Rudolph, he went 2 for 2 for 12 yards. Jalen Warren, 14 carries for 48 yards. Jalen Warren leads the team in receptions, 4 receptions for 86 yards. Pat Freiermuth had 3 for 31. Jonnu Smith, 4 for 27. Calvin Austin, 1 for 22. DK Metcalf, just 3 catches for 20 yards. He did get in the end zone, though. Listen, this is exactly what I hate about Arthur Smith offenses. He doesn't know what in the hell he's doing with number 1 receivers. You got DK Metcalf with 3 receptions for 20 yards. It's just baffling.
It should have been at least 4 receptions with the one that he dropped.
Yeah, right? I mean, that's fair.
And DK has been having an issue with that this season. There's one thing Aaron Rodgers don't stand for
is dropping passes.
Right?
Yeah.
But who else is he going to throw to?
Exactly.
Right? I love Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth and those guys and Calvin Austin III especially, but who else is there? Right?
Yeah.
For them to throw to. But here's the thing about Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator. He don't care about your fantasy team. He don't care about number one receivers. He's just trying to win the game. Call the plays that will help the team win the game, not about stuff in the stats. But this was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, Arthur Smith, but that's my problem with Arthur Smith is okay, you have a player as skilled as DK Metcalf, and you're not using him. And you get DK Metcalf. We saw the same thing happen in Atlanta when he had Calvin Ridley over there. Calvin Ridley, you look at those first 6 weeks before he had the gambling issue, but you look at those first 6 weeks, and Calvin Ridley didn't do jack squat over there when Arthur Smith was there because Arthur Smith doesn't know what in the hell to do with a number one receiver. You saw it with Drake London too. Drake London gets picked up. He's slid a number one over or a first round pick. He winds up going over to Atlanta, and what happens? Nothing, because Arthur Smith didn't know what the hell to do with him. I mean, Arthur Smith, I mean, this is kind of what I've grown to expect. And these types of games I know are going to happen as long as Arthur Smith is running the offense in Pittsburgh.
And I think what the real issue was with Pittsburgh was that it was a look ahead spot, because I think there was a ton of emotion, especially from Aaron Rodgers, about beating the Jets.
Oh yeah,
right. It was personal for him. He wanted to be. What did he say? Something like, I can't stand anybody on the Jets organization. Whatever he said. Don't want to quote him. I can't quote him chapter and verse, but that's basically what he said. He's not a fan of the Jets organization. So I think it was personal for him to go out and beat the Jets, and they completely forgot that they had to play the Seahawks the following week. Yeah, right. And what's really surprising, is there's no one game that Pittsburgh can hang their hat on right now, and two, the defense. Whoa, what?
Yeah,
you've given up now 30 points back-to-back week.
Yeah, I don't know why that is the case. And as far as the run game goes, my problem comes in where you see how electric Jaylen Warren is when you get the ball in his hands on passing downs. In this case, 4 receptions, 86 yards. You saw it last week. He got the ball in his hands on passing downs. He was electric. And then when it comes to actually getting the ball put right in his gut and here's your handoff, he's not doing nearly as much. I would much rather say, screw all this stuff with Caleb Johnson sitting back here, taking kickoffs, and let's let Caleb Johnson be the big bruising back that you want him to be. And that kickoff,
maybe Caleb Johnson doesn't see the field for a while. I mean, he was having issues with blitz pickup and the other things that running backs in the NFL have to be able to do, not just carry the rock, right? So he was having issues with that. And then the kickoff debacle with him.
So he has the huge gap. I mean, like, I was wondering why he was doing what he was doing too, because it was a live ball. Yeah. And he just let it go right by him. And I mean, part of me thinks that he just thought it was just going to bounce out the back of the end zone. Instead of turning around and making sure it bounced out the back of the end zone, he jogged off the field as the ball just bounces in the end zone and lets Seattle recover it for a touchdown.
You may not see the field for a while when you do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tomlin, he says that he won't be returning kicks for the short term. I don't know what that exactly means. But as far as I'm concerned,
he'll be returning coffee to the.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, Alex, and maybe you're with me here, I think Caleb Johnson, if you really want, I mean, you drafted the kid, right?
Yes.
He's a bruiser of a running back. Why is he not the bell cow back and just let Jaylen Warren be the change of pace back like it should be? Because that's how Jaylen Warren was effective last year when he was with Najee Harris, right? I mean, am I missing something here?
Nope. And I really think the answer, again, kind of falls on the head of Arthur Smith, because he's the guy that's running the offense. And to an extent, Mike Tomlin, because he's the head coach. But, Caleb Johnson isn't doing himself any favors with that horrible gaffe on special teams, allowing the Seahawks to get a touchdown. It's the stupidest way to lose a game I've seen in a long time. But that aside, I agree with you. I can't see why they don't just let the kid give him a shot. Get him on the field, see what he can do, plow him into the line, and see if he can't redeem himself.
Yeah, let him be physical. He's a big physical back. That's how they ran over there in Iowa. Let him be a big physical back. I mean,
and I'm sure they would have if he would have shown enough propensity, you like that word, a propensity to do the other things, like I said, that a running back has to be able to do, especially if you're going to be the starter.
Yeah, he's going to have to pass block at some point. And you talk about how many points the Steelers are giving up. Well, they're in trouble now. Linebacker Alex Highsmith, he suffers a high ankle sprain in this game. He's listed as questionable for the upcoming game versus the Patriots. So we'll see that. As for the Seahawks, I mean, they looked pretty damn good in this game. I mean, look, Sam Darnold, it wasn't his most efficient game. He did have 2 turnovers, but he got it done, and he spread the ball out nicely between Smith and Jigba and Cooper Kupp. And he does get the touchdown to the rookie Torrey Horton. So I'm kind of excited about that. We're going to see a lot more Kenny Walker, I think, though. Zach Charbonnet listed as questionable due to a foot injury. So we might not see Zach Charbonnet in the upcoming game here. So moving forward, let's talk about the Rams and the Titans. The Rams, man, they win this game 33-19. Cam Ward, 19 for 33, 175. He throws his first NFL touchdown, so we got to see him score for the first time. He didn't throw any picks in this one, so that's a good thing. Tony Pollard, 20 carries for 92 yards, a 4.6 average. Not bad. That's what we kind of grown to expect out of Tony Pollard. Calvin Ridley, 3 receptions, 57 yards. Elic Ayomanor, there we go. 4 receptions, 56 yards and a touchdown. Chico Okonkwo, man, 4 receptions, 35 yards. Hey, look, the Titans, they're starting to figure it out, but they got a rookie quarterback, second game. There's going to be some growing pains there.
And you run into the Rams defense.
Yeah, exactly. And Matt Stafford and company, I mean, the Rams, Matt Stafford, 23 for 33, 298, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Kyren Williams, 17 carries for 66 yards. We'll talk about him momentarily. Puka Nacua, there we go.
Poo-poo.
1 carry for 45 yards and a touchdown. Blake Corum, 5 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Adams, 6 receptions for 106 and a touchdown. Puka Nacua, 8 for 91. Jordan Whittington, 2 for 42. So Stafford spreading the ball out pretty well. But what was kind of interesting to me is how efficient Blake Corum was. And on those runs, Blake Corum was the guy that was breaking them off and not Kyren Williams. Should we start preparing for the Blake Corum show with the Rams here, Boots?
Well, you know my affinity for Blake Corum.
Yep.
He was my number 2 A-list All-Star running back last season, or not last season, season before that. He was very effective.
Yeah.
Right. This is the progression, right, through an NFL career, and we're seeing it in real time. Now, let's be also fair. The Tennessee Titans, it's not a bang 'em up defense.
No.
Right? Because they did, lose some pieces. And this is a whole new system. But here's another thing about Tennessee: the offensive line. It has not done Cam Ward any favors.
No, it has not. I saw him running for his life on that pass to Ayomanor.
It's rough, man. Elic Ayomanor.
Ayomanor.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Elic Ayomanor.
Ayomanor.
Do we matter?
Ayomanor.
Yes. Mind your manners.
but
Elic, mind your manners. But yeah, he looked really good though. I like what I see going forward from Cam Ward. Cam.
I think it's a little early to start singing his praises, Boots.
Yeah.
I told you about Cam Ward. But I like the progression I'm seeing from him. But again, Matthew Stafford. Who says he needs Tommy John surgery?
I still think he needs Tommy John.
This dude is healing in L.A., bro.
We're dealing in what? Cortisone shots?
Listen, I'm with you, Boots. I mean, the man still has it.
He does.
He still has it. I mean, they trot him out there, and he's getting the old aches and pains, but he's getting it done. But the Rams go out and they beat the Titans 33-19. The Rams are. I mean, we thought they were kind of cooked, right? I mean, in this offseason, and it's me and Alex.
Okay.
Me and Alex. I won't include you in that.
Yeah, because I got to win in the division.
You were about to pull out the old man notebook and start yelling.
I sure was. I got my records right here. Receipts, right?
Boy. Next up, Bills and Jets. The Bills, man, go out and dominate the Jets 30-10. What else is new? Josh Allen, just 14 for 25, 148 yards. Mitch Trubisky winds up coming into this game. He goes 1 for 2 for 32 yards. The big story in this one was James Cook, buddy.
Toot, toot.
Carries, 132 yards, a 6.3 average on the day, 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen had 6 carries for 59 yards. Ray Davis, 9 for 24. I mean, they just dominated on the ground. And then through the air, I mean, there was nothing crazy going on. I mean, Josh Palmer, 2 receptions for 47. Dalton Kincaid, 4 for 37. Elijah Moore, 1 for 31. Keon Coleman, 3 for 26. I mean, there wasn't a lot of passing going on, and it really wasn't necessary, given what they were doing, what they were accomplishing. They had 3 touchdowns on the ground, 1 from a receiver. Elijah Moore gets into the end zone. It was just a beating. I mean, that's the best way I can call it.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile for the Jets, Justin Fields, 3 for 11. Listen to that again. 3 for 11.
Oh, boy.
Tyrod Taylor, 7 for 11 for 56 yards and a touchdown. Justin Fields leaves this game with a concussion. And he has been ruled out, by the way, for week 3 with the Bucs. Tyrod Taylor will start this week against the Buccaneers for the Jets. But Breece Hall, man, he wasn't effective. 10 carries for 29 yards. Tyrod Taylor had 3 carries for 21 yards. Garrett Wilson, 4 receptions for just 50 yards. And everybody else on that team had single-digit yardage through the air. I mean, this was one of the worst performances of the year offensively that we will see. And the Bills dominated, and every single front of this game, in every phase of this game, the Buffalo Bills dominated the New York Jets here.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe what happened was this was a result of last week, the Jets just barely, losing to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Right, that great effort, and then the pin gets stuck into the balloon, and all the air is deflated. And I think the same thing happened early in the game when Buffalo sacks Justin Fields, and the ball it's a strip sack fumble, right?
Yep.
And I think at that moment the game just flipped.
Yeah, it was done
for the Jets, and the run game of the Buffalo Bills just continued to dominate. Even though, where's this Jets defense at?
Yeah, I mean,
that's my question.
Yeah.
They have been so good for so many years, and now it's out of nowhere, just nothing. Aaron Glenn, I mean, everybody talked about him, and this is another, it's ironic. I want to talk about the irony here, because it's ironic that we saw years ago, we saw Matt Patricia go to Detroit, and everybody kept saying what? Defensive guru this, defensive guru that. And, now we see Aaron Glenn leave town, and everybody in this town was going, defensive guru this, defensive guru that. And he goes off to the Jets, and nothing. He gives up 30 points in consecutive weeks, 30+. And here we are. I mean, you got the James Cook running all over him like there's nobody there. I mean, it was – there was holes that were – it was like I could have run through them. I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely terrible.
Yeah. The Jets defense is not good right now. They have good players.
I will say,
as a whole,
from a pass perspective, I mean, if you look at the numbers from the pass, I mean, they were really good. Sauce Gardner doing his job. I mean, like, the secondary seems to be doing its job. It's the front 7 that's like, what in the hell is happening?
I mean, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers lit up last week.
That's fair.
But here's the thing. If the run game is working, why throw it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why abandon it? The Bills, man, dominating on the ground. This is kind of what we've grown to expect from the Joe Brady system, right? I mean, this is what happens. So they go get it done, 2-0. I mean, and the Jets fall to 0-2. I mean, are you panicked if you're the Jets?
I mean, you already knew that this wasn't going to be a great season.
Right.
You knew it wasn't. Probably you knew it wasn't going to be a good season. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
You knew it wasn't going to be a good season.
You knew it was probably going to be a below average.
Yeah, this is kind of, par for the course.
Right. So, it's panic is kind of the wrong word here. It's more like same old Jets.
Yeah. Yep. Elsewhere around that division, let's jump into the Patriots. Go out and they beat the Miami Dolphins 33-27. This one was fun to watch. Drake May, 19 for 23, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns. Very efficient in this game. Coming alive here was Ramondre Stevenson, 11 carries for 54 yards, and he also had 5 receptions for 88 yards. He had over 130 yards from scrimmage in this game. Ramondre Stevenson just doing work. Drake May also had 10 carries for 31 yards and a touchdown. Not too bad, but then Travion Henderson was just a non-factor, which was sort of surprising given he was their bell cow back last week. Austin Hooper, 3 receptions for 38 yards. Steph Diggs, just 4 receptions for 32 yards. Steph Diggs getting off to the slow start, but we got to remember coming off the ACL tear. On the other side, when it comes to the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, 26 for 32, 315 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Devin Achane hasn't gotten going in this season. Just 11 carries for 30 yards in this game. He did have the big receiving stuff going on, 8 receptions, 92 yards and a touchdown. But I'm surprised they haven't leaned on him more in the run game. Tyreek Hill comes alive, 6 receptions, 109 yards. Jalen Waddle, 5 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. If you look at what the Miami Dolphins are doing, they're 0-2. Listen, we knew this season was going to be bad, but man, look.
It's just like I said last week. I mean, with that clunker that they laid, against the Colts, and then you barely lose a division game, and then this, in just under an hour here, you're gonna be the Bills. You're gonna go to the cold. You're gonna go to the frigid temperature. You're going to Allen Park, not Allen Park, but you're going to Buffalo. You're going to Buffalo to face the Bills, and they got the sledgehammer out. You're staring down the barrel of an 0-3 season, and head coach Mike McDaniel isn't really doing himself any favors by pulling the sarcastic act in his press conferences. I mean, it was cute, last year, but when your team's starting 0-2 and you're staring down the barrel of 0-3, I don't think you're going to be endearing yourself to Dolphins fans, are you?
Yeah, he's a little too cavalier about everything right now.
Aloof.
No, just kidding. Listen, here's the thing about the Miami Dolphins. I've said it, and I've been saying it for how long now?
Yep, a while.
When are you going to invest in your offensive and defensive line? Yep. You talk about not being able to get Devin Achane going because they've got no offensive line to really push people off the line of scrimmage to even give him an opportunity. That's why they throw it to him out the backfield.
And they sent their best offensive lineman out the door this offseason.
Yeah. He knew.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to me that teams who know. Well, I got a question. Real quick. Why is Miami playing in the AFC?
Do you think they should be in the AFC South?
I think that maybe the NFC South. They should be somewhere in the South because they got to play 3 Northeast teams.
Yeah. In the cold.
In the cold. Why are they in the AFC East?
That's a good question.
I don't get it. I don't get it. That's not like I want to, be, like I'm some Miami Dolphin fan. What up, Dave? But I'm not. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense to me as to why they would be in that division. But anyway.
And the Patriots defense, got through the offensive line too, and they sacked Tua 5 times. Yeah, that's another indication that something's wrong.
The Dolphins defense is not good.
No,
just overall period. You got rid of Jalen Ramsey,
their best corner,
right? Yeah. And their next best corner, I'm sorry, I forget my man's name. He just went down for the season.
Hill.
A few weeks ago. Yeah, Mike Hill went down for the season a few weeks ago. Like this team is cooked.
Yeah, I think they're good. They're in even more trouble. Wide receiver Jalen Waddle, he's questionable for tonight's game versus the Bills due to a shoulder injury. He'll be testing it out before the game. We'll find out if he's going to wind up being active. But man, it's the Dolphins having all kinds of problems. Meanwhile,
I would probably just start Skylar Thompson and just give Tua some rest, and just have the backup get the hell beat out of him for once.
Going to be a mauling tonight, and
Indians Dolphins with a side of rice and onion gravy.
Yeah, and then on the other hand, you got the Patriots. They trade their former second-round wide receiver Jalen Polk and a 2028 seventh-round pick to the Saints for a 2027 sixth-round pick. That's how undervalued or devalued Jalen Polk has become at this point a guy that we really liked coming out of the draft a couple years ago. And here we are. I mean, former second-round pick out of Washington and part of that team that went to the national championship. Yeah. And now he gets sent away for a pick 3 years from now.
For a pack of Fruit Stripes gum. Never want to hear the words former next to second-round pick.
Yeah. Who did you piss off that they delivered, that they wanted to get rid of you for a future pick?
And they didn't even
Not
use
even a
him.
player.
Yeah, they didn't even use him.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They didn't even use Jalen Polk.
I wonder what's going on there. But again, this coaching regime did not draft
Jalen Polk. Yeah.
But at the same time, damn dog, what have you not been doing?
Yeah.
Because Mike Vrabel don't play apparently.
What are we missing out on here?
Yeah.
I want to see if Kellen Moore is able to get anything out of him, especially considering, they barely have had any help with Chris Olave over there on the other side of the field. So we'll see if Jalen Polk can be some help to Olave. But in any case, the Patriots, they go out and dominate this game, 33-27. They win and walk out 1-1. I mean, hey, rock and roll. Next up, let's talk about the Bengals and the Jags. The Bengals, they're in some trouble here. Now, they go out and win this game 31-27, but we got to talk about the elephant in the room first and foremost. The Bengals quarterback, Joe Burrow, he's set to undergo surgery on a grade 3 turf toe injury. He's going to miss at least 3 months, they're saying.
Oh, no!
Exactly. So now Joe Burrow, I mean, he's gone. Jake Browning is set to get the starts while he's gone. We've seen Jake Browning come in for the Bengals in the past. I'm not going to sit here and say Jake Browning was bad during that stretch because he wasn't. He was a bit of a gunslinger. He really loved to target Chase and Higgins. I mean, he's arguably a higher-end backup in this league at this stage of the game, right? But, man, you lose Joe Burrow. I mean, I feel like we talk about teams that don't invest in their offensive line, right? And here's the Bengals.
What the fuck? What have I been saying?
Yeah, here's the Bengals.
Years now.
Yep, and I feel like we talk about now we can use the old phrase death, taxes, and Joe Burrow injuries because that's kind of what we get to when it comes to Joe Burrow at this stage of his career, right?
What is the saying?
Availability and reliability. Right?
Now, what are we seeing?
Yeah,
He's not available, and by proxy, he's not reliable.
But I mean, is it him or is it the Bengals aren't reliable?
It's the Bengals, 100%.
The thing, I remember his rookie season. What happened to end his rookie year?
Torn ACL
Because of
bad offensive line play.
and he got sacked.
Yep.
Right? And that has derailed his development and his career to be a top. I mean, he's still a top end talent, right? High level talent. But if the offensive line cannot protect him, who cares how far he can throw the ball?
Exactly.
You can't throw it off your back, can you?
No.
Right?
No. And that's the problem. He's been beat to hell, as a member of the Bengals here. I mean, at a certain point, do you think he's going to wind up going into like Carson Palmer mode, where he's just like, F this, I want out? I mean, and then he's going to have the pissing match with upper management. I mean, like, that's where I feel like they're headed right now.
And maybe it's because he got the offensive lineman Swords for Christmas last season.
Yeah, maybe.
They're like, Sword?
No.
Who you want to sword for? Why?
So,
Samurai in 1879?
Just let that fucker through. But in any case, I mean,
and Browning's not going to do any better
because
it's the same offensive line.
Yep.
So you got Chase, you got Higgins, but the Bengals got lucky because Trevor Lawrence. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
you're about to go through.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Trevor Lawrence, 24 for 42, 271. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, including one that handed the Bengals the ball for the win. Travis Etienne, 14 carries, 71 yards. Bashal, rootin' tootin', 8 carries, yards. There's our guy. He also got in the end zone in this game on a pass play. He had 2 receptions for 32 yards and a TD. He got there quick. Yes, he did. Parker Washington, 5 receptions for 76 yards. Diami Brown, 5 receptions for 57 yards and a touchdown. He's been very involved in that offense. Brian Thomas Jr. starting to get something, 4 receptions for 49 yards. But, man, it's amazing how little he's been used in this offense.
He's starting to get alligator arms. That's what
He had a couple of drops here.
No, he said he started making business decisions.
Yeah, that's exactly what one of them was. It was a business decision. Next up for the Bengals, it's Jake Browning, 21 for 32, 241, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in this game.
How?
Yeah, exactly. Joe Burrow, 7 for 13, 76 yards and a touchdown before going down with the injury. Chase Brown had 16 carries for 47 yards. He has not been efficient to start the year. Jamar Chase, man, he was the best thing about the day for the Bengals. 14 receptions, 165 yards and a touchdown. T. Higgins also had 3 for 56 and a touchdown. Noah Fant getting involved. They're sort of splitting tight end duties here between Noah Fant and Mike Gesicki. Fant, 3 receptions for 28 yards. Mike Gesicki, 3 for 18. The other touchdown was scored by Mitchell Tinsley, one reception for 13 yards and a TD. I mean, hey, they're getting it done. Also, shout out to Dax Hill, who's been having a hell of a start to the season here. He got a pick in this game. He's been making tackles out the wazoo. He's been the best defensive player they've had all year long. But Cincinnati, they pulled this one out, but I don't know how much longer they're going to continue this. They're 2-0 for the first time in how long?
A long time, but you know who's going to be coming? Who they're going on the road, and they're knocking on the door of the Minnesota Vikings. So that Minnesota Vikings defense is going to eat that offensive line alive.
If they're healthy, and we'll wind up talking about the Vikings momentarily, but the Bengals, they managed to get it done, and the Jaguars shoot themselves in the foot again. Next up, let's talk about the Niners and the Saints. The Niners go out and beat the Saints 26-21. Let's talk about these Niners, man. Mac Jones filling in for the injured Brock Purdy, 26 for 39, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day. Christian McCaffrey, 13 carries for 55 yards. He also had 6 receptions for 52 yards and a touchdown on the day. He actually hasn't looked half bad to start the season. Juwan Jennings, 5 receptions for 89 yards and a touchdown. Ricky Pearsall, 4 for 56. I mean, not a bad showing for the Niners. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Saints, Spencer Rattler, 25 for 34, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's the best output I've seen from him at the pro level. Alvin Kamara, 21 carries for 99 yards. In this one, he also had 6 receptions for 21. Olave getting started here, 6 receptions, 54 yards. Rashid Shaheed, 4 for 52 and a touchdown. Juwan Johnson, 5 for 49 and a touchdown, having a red-hot start to the season. I mean, let's talk about it. The Niners, they get it done. Mac Jones, not looking too bad here, right? He was the quarterback that the Niners wanted all along all those years ago, right?
That's what they say. What really sticks out to me is this Kyle Shanahan offense.
Yep.
Right? You can put, I don't want to say anybody, but you can put just about anybody in that spot. And if you can deliver the ball with a little anticipation, a little bit of timing, and can get the ball to the playmakers, you can make some. You can do some things.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Mac Jones. I mean, with the starting experience that he has, exactly, Mac Jones. The starting experience that he has in this league, and he's had quite a bit. He played with the Jags last year. He was over with, obviously he started with the Patriots for a few years. He's got the starting experience, and now he comes into a run-heavy system, a run-heavy scheme where he can run play action, which is really good for him. Yeah. And he delivers the ball, and he was really accurate in this game. 26 for 39 is pretty damn good. And we're talking 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, so we're playing the stake-free football. You got to like that the Niners were able to pull this one out without Brock Purdy. Do you think Brock Purdy's job is in jeopardy?
Not at all.
No.
And I think you got to think also, no George Kittle.
Yep.
At the tight end position, right? Everybody's like, oh, Jake Tonjes is going to get it done. No. It was who? Luke Farrell.
Yep.
Got the touchdown there. Christian McCaffrey, what was that? Six receptions, 52 yards and a touchdown. So, it's moving right along. This San Francisco offense, it's a machine, and it's hard to stop.
Now, what was interesting to me is that the Saints, a defense that looked really good in week 1, because they did look good in week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals, they struggled a little bit to stop the Niners and really slow them down and stop that passing attack. Interesting to see that.
Here's the thing, week 1 is almost an anomaly because you've got teams, they've got weeks upon weeks, right, and to prepare.
I mean, we saw the Saints last year where they started the first, 3 games,
exactly.
red hot.
Exactly.
So,
And that's a part of the reason why Detroit looked as bad as they did against Green Bay, because Green Bay came in with a personal grudge, like we gonna beat this Detroit Lions team now. Because I don't think Mike LaFleur liked what Dan Campbell going forward on fourth down. Remember the game, fourth and 2, they're going for it. 4th and 1, they're going for it. 4th and 3, they're going for it. And they kept getting them. And I think Matt LaFleur, I think he was pissed. Yeah. And I think he put that message out there. We're going to beat the Detroit Lions now. Yeah. And that's exactly what they did last week.
Now, Alex, are you as excited about Spencer Rattler as Boots over here is?
Jury's out. I am not going to heavily praise him. I am also not going to dump on him, because, as you said, Scott, this is his most productive game, probably since he became a New Orleans Saint. I would love to see the kid improve. I would love to see the kid, get better, because the Saints need all the help they can get. And if you take a look at this schedule, it's only going to get worse. You got the Seahawks on the 21st. Then you're going to Buffalo on the 28th. You got 2 very hard road games. And then, you got a Giants team. Listen, they're not the Giants we thought they were. So
I mean, it could wind up being a shootout, but we don't really know. I mean, I really think that the big scary thing for the Saints is going to places like Seattle, going to places like Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo, you might as well just call it. I mean, is that game just a 1:00 game?
It's a 1:00 game, so yeah.
Okay, well, at least it's not prison shower sex at prime time. But I digress. It'll just be at 1:00 in the afternoon, a little afternoon delight for the Bills.
Move past that one. Good to talk about Spencer Rattler. Let me tell you something, New Orleans. Oh, God. We bowed and bowed. We rowdy row. And I cannot believe that the New Orleans Saints chose to draft Tyler Shuck in the 2nd round and looked right past Spencer Rattler. I've been telling y'all for 2 years now that Spencer.
What was it? Was it 2nd round or was it 1st round?
Who? Shuck. Yeah, was he?
I thought it was the 1st round.
I'll put it like this: he shouldn't have been a 1st rounder. Matter of fact, let's check the record. Yeah, we are. I'm checking right here.
Gotta check the records.
First round here.
Tyler Shuck, pick number 40 in round number 2. So early, he's an early 2nd round pick.
Yeah, that's a waste of a 2nd round pick.
What? Man, the New Orleans Saints put themselves behind the 8 ball with that pick. He's not starting. I told you Spencer Rattler should have been starting from day 1, and he should have been. And he had a really good game. They screwed it up at the end, but Spencer Rattler, good job.
Yeah, I really I can't even say he was bad. He had a great game. It was peak Spencer Rattler here. That was probably the best I've seen him so far.
Well, let's just keep playing like that, Spence.
Yep. One team that really has looked awful so far is the Cleveland Browns. We'll talk about them next. The Baltimore Ravens go out and crush the Browns 41-17. Yeah. Oh, and also we talked about Brock Purdy in that last one. Let's just make mention he does have a chance to play Sunday versus the Cardinals. But moving forward, the Baltimore Ravens, they crushed the Browns 41-17, just a thrashing. Lamar Jackson, man, 19 for 29, 225, 4 touchdowns in this one. Derrick Henry barely touched the ball. It was the Lamar Jackson show all day. Zay Flowers, 7 receptions, 75 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, 2 for 64 and a touchdown. Devontae Walker, 2 for 26 and 2 touchdowns. Tylan Wallace, 2 for 25 and a touchdown. I mean, he was spreading the ball out. Lamar was calm, cool, poised. He only had 2 carries in this game for 13 yards. It's crazy to me. But they dominated this game defensively. They hammered on these guys. Nate Wiggins got an interception in this game. I mean, it was just a beating. I just couldn't get over it.
Epic proportions. Let's just go ahead and say it.
a train wreck that you couldn't take your eyes off of. I mean, Joe Flacco, 25 for 45, 199, a touchdown and a pick.
If you're throwing the ball 45 times and you're getting less than 200 yards, what are you doing?
They bring in Dylan Gabriel, who goes 3 for 3 for 19 yards and a touchdown. They did get Quinshawn Judkins back. They activated him for this game. He was very efficient. 10 carries for 61 yards. He had a 6.1 average. He looked like the guy that we thought he was going to be. I mean, a 6.1 average, pretty damn good for a running back here. Jerry Jeudy, 4 receptions, 51 yards. Harold Fannin, who's actually just had a nice start to the season here, 5 receptions, 48 yards, a 9.6 average. David Njoku, who's been outshined by Harold Fannin, he still had 4 receptions for 40 yards. Cedric Tillman finding the end zone for the second time in as many weeks. Dylan Sampson gets in the end zone, 3 receptions for 13 yards. We can tell right now, as it currently stands, it seems like Dylan Sampson is the pass-catching down back guy here, and now it's Quinshawn Judkins that's going to be taken over as the primary back. But, man, Cleveland, they've been embarrassed for 2 weeks straight now.
Yeah, I'm looking at, some of that's a little bit of garbage time production. I mean, garbage time still counts for a lot of reasons, but especially to put on tape and so that the coaches know who's still playing.
Yep.
Right? So next week, who gonna be playing? You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at this like you would hope that Joe Flacco, going back to Baltimore for the first time since he was gone, and it didn't quite turn out the way you thought it would. But then again, you got the Baltimore Ravens, who people said they did blow the game against Buffalo.
Yeah.
And they wanted to shut all that noise out and go out and handle business, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, and what's interesting to me is okay, Joe Flacco wasn't performing up to snuff. They trot Dylan Gabriel out there.
Who's missing from this equation?
I mean, why are we? And all rumors are saying that he's barely even getting reps. I mean, why in the hell are we not trotting Shedeur Sanders out there?
I've been saying it for a long time. I'll just put it like that. But the thing is, I think there's a personality conflict between the coaching staff and Shedeur Sanders.
I think you're right.
There's something there where I just don't like it. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
I think you're right, but the Ravens go out and dominate the Browns in interdivision play here. And moving into the next one, another division showdown here. Lions go out and dominate the Chicago Bears 52-21. The Bears, man, they looked rough. Caleb Williams, 19 for 30, 207 yards. He had 2 touchdowns and a pick. Tyson Bagent comes out there later in the game, 2 for 3 for 27 yards. DeAndre Swift actually looked halfway decent in this game. 12 carries for 63 yards and a touchdown. He had a 5.2 average in this game. Rome Odunze, second week in a row, big week for him. 7 receptions, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. DJ Moore, 5 for 46. Cole Kmet, 2 for 29. I mean, look, just a rough showing by the Bears. Meanwhile, the Lions just go off, especially Jared Goff. He went Goff, 23 for 28, 334, 5 touchdowns on the day. Jahmyr Gibbs, 12 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. David Montgomery, 11 for 57 and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown was the big story, though. 9 receptions, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns in this game. Jameson Williams, 2 for 108 and a touchdown. Isaac Tesla, 1 for 29 on a circus catch. Brock Wright, 3 for 28 and a touchdown. Sam Laporta, 3 for 26. First of all, I good for the Lions blowing out the Bears here. But, man.
Wait, hold on. We need to mark this down. In the annals of history, that Mr. Scotty Fraytown just said, good job to the Lions. The hater of the year just said, good job to the Lions.
But
oh, boy.
I'm scratching my head right now as to how in the heck they have been so unable to get Sam Laporta involved in this offense. I mean, this guy for 2 weeks straight has just been a non-factor. And after coming off a year last year where he had 726 yards, the year before that he was over the 800 mark. He had all these touchdowns, all this production, and now here we are. 2 weeks straight, we're talking 20-yard performances. I don't know what in the heck is going on with Sam Laporta. He's been very quiet for the first 2 weeks.
I think this is a case of new offense, new scheme, but at the same time, hey, if he's open, I'm throwing it over here. If he's open, I'm throwing it over here, right? It was a pick your poison kind of game, and just Laporta didn't get picked, and I'm sure he's still happy to get the victory, right?
Yeah.
But not everybody's going to have the big game, especially. I mean, it'd be nice, right?
Yeah.
If everybody,
Spread the ball out,
and get a touchdown. But hey, if the guy's open and it's a touchdown, I'm throwing it right here.
Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown, man. He is, speaking of guys that were open, 9 receptions, 115, 3 touchdowns. He had 2 in the red zone. One of them was he was wide open, just standing there. Yeah. I mean, I was just like, wow, okay, that's what we're doing.
The paper and everything.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that Amon-Ra St. Brown has posted 3 touchdowns in a single game, which I guess it's kind of surprising, but maybe then again it's not, because he is the best possession receiver in football. What's his job? Get open, catch the football, fall to the ground if you have to, or just get enough to get to the sticks. That's the kind of player he is.
Yeah, Amon-Ra's a possession receiver. That's what he's always been. What he was at USC, and that's what he is with Detroit. He's a possession receiver. He is. I mean, and I hate the team he plays for, but I love him as a player. He is a baller, and he's always been a baller. He was great at USC, and now he's great for the Detroit Lions.
Now I know why you like him so much.
I've liked Amon-Ra from the rip.
USC.
Well, it was before that, actually. I liked him before I was a USC fan, but I digress. Meanwhile, you got the Bears, who are just struggling. I mean, are these guys cooked? I mean, is Ben Johnson not be able to fit? Is Caleb Williams the problem right now? I mean, can we actually say that Caleb Williams is the issue? I'm
going to go ahead and take a stab at it and say Caleb Williams is the problem. It's not a good look for Ben Johnson to go into the home of his former team and get spanked the way he did. It doesn't look good on a resume. But at the same time, Caleb Williams, Bears fans should have been mashing the panic button when reports came out that Caleb Williams was getting really confused with the plays that, Ben Johnson was having him memorize. Because, when you get a quarterback that doesn't, that can't acclimate to the offense. And also, you have to keep in mind, he was 2 years, was it 1 year with Matt Eberflus or 2? But
1 year with Eberflus, yeah, and really he struggled with Eberflus because Eberflus was not studying with him at all. He wasn't apparently in the film room with him, nothing. But
right.
Eberflus was a defensive coach. That's what he was.
And so that leads credence to the theory that it's partly it's on Caleb Williams partially, and it's on the Bears organization for setting this kid up for failure, because this is his second head coach in as many years, and he has to learn 2 different offenses, and his offensive line isn't doing him any favors. I mean, if you take a look at now the Lions only got to him like 4 times, which that's enough. And Kirby Joseph, being the baller that he is on defense, he got a pick. But, Boots, what do you have to add to this conversation?
I'm just gonna add a little salt.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little salt.
Oh boy.
I had to listen to this dude over here tell me time and time again, tell all of our brethren and our sisters and the Blitz babies, if you will, that it was all Ben Johnson. It was all Ben Johnson. It was all Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell said, no. I coach this team. Ben Johnson doesn't coach this team. And I think Ben Johnson didn't do himself any favors getting out there in the media. Oh, I love this Caleb Burke. Oh, a guy that can move and run. Oh, I love him so much. Oh, yeah. Here's the problem with this type of offense. It cannot be out of structure all the time. Caleb Williams, that's where he thrived, right? At Oklahoma and at USC, he thrived on making plays out of structure. Well, this type of offense requires structure. Yep. That's why Jared Goff was as good as he was because Jared Goff not only is a progression read quarterback, that offense fit him perfectly.
But here's the one thing I'm going to bring up, and it's something that I've been talking about for 3 years now, and it's something that the Lions do on the defensive side of the ball notoriously, heavily. They always did it. They did it with Aaron Glenn there, and now they did it this last week, and you watched how the Bears struggled. What did they do? They played hard man coverage all game long. All game, and guess what? Ben Johnson's offense, his offensive scheme is predicated toward zone coverage. I've been saying it for 3 years. You saw it in the San Francisco NFC title game. You saw it against the Commanders last year, and now you saw it against Detroit because Detroit plays more man coverage than any other team in the NFL.
They played it last year just like that.
Yep, and that's what they did. And
Kelvin Shepard is not brand new.
Yeah.
With the organization, he was underneath Aaron Glenn
Yep.
in that role, and just took over when Aaron Glenn left to take the head coaching job in New York.
Yep, they knew that's how you beat Ben Johnson's offense. Ben Johnson's offense has always been zone coverage busters. I've been saying that for years now. That's what he does. He sees that a majority of the league has shifted towards zone and towards zone coverage. So he basically took his whole offense and said, I'm going to predicate this on defeating zone coverage. But when you dip into man coverage, he can't handle it. The Lions struggle with it the last 2 years. Now he struggles with it over there with the Bears now. Now the Bears are going to struggle taking on man coverage. That has always been how you've beaten Ben Johnson style offenses. And teams are going to have to understand that. And I don't understand why teams struggle with that. And you saw the Vikings go out and beat them. The Vikings in week one, what did they do? Early on, they played a lot of zone, and the Bears were eating them up. But when you got to the second half of that football game and the Bears didn't score, guess what? They played all man coverage for the rest of the night and dominated the Bears in that football game.
And sometimes the only reason why teams can't, some teams just don't play man coverage.
Yeah.
Right? That's just not what they do. What will be interesting is this upcoming week, and we'll talk about it, the Dallas and Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, let's talk about the Colts going out and pulling one out against the Denver Broncos 29-28. This was an exciting game. It was a very fun game to watch. You did call it. Danny Jones, man, again, putting up another top 10 performance of the week, 23 for 34, 316 yards. He had a touchdown. You know what? And Jonathan Taylor, looking like the Jonathan Taylor of old, 25 carries for 165 yards. He had a hell of a game here, and he also had 2 receptions for 50 yards and a touchdown. I mean, just a monster performance from him. Tyler Warren, man, hey, there's a guy that we loved coming out of the draft, 4 receptions, 79 yards. Alec Pierce, 4 for 68. Josh Downs, 6 for 51. Josh touchdowns. And also, Michael Pittman, 4 for 40. Meanwhile, on the Broncos side of the ball, Bo Nix, 22 for 30, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins, he's taken over as the running back one over there. I'm just waiting for that R.J. Harvey explosion. But for now,
and the J.K. Dobbins injury.
Yep,
gotta say that.
Yeah, it's coming. 14 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins has a 5.4 average. Troy Franklin, there's my guy. I love Troy Franklin. 8 receptions, 89 yards, and a TD. Marvin Mims also got in the end zone. He got a touchdown. And also Adam Troutman, the former New Orleans Saint, got in the end zone as well.
Elk Rapids High School graduate.
Yes, sir. I mean, look, this was a fun game to watch. Comes down to a last-second field goal. And Spencer Schrader, gets the Colts the win. But how about Danny Jones? Is he for real? Is this an anomaly? Is this like what we saw out of Derek Carr last year in the first couple games of the season? Boots, what the hell is going on?
I think it's the Jim Bob Cooter effect.
It's possible.
At the offensive coordinator and Shane Steichen being able to limit the weaknesses of Daniel Jones and accentuate the strength.
I think Daniel Jones has a very very similar skill set than what Jalen Hurts has. And I think that's
similar.
Yeah, I think it's very similar. I don't think he's as effective as Jalen Hurts.
Right.
He's like a poor man's Jalen Hurts.
There you go.
And that's why I think he's fitting this Indianapolis Colts scheme so well.
And Jim Bob Cooter, his schemes have always been scaled back, scaled down. Let's keep it simple, stupid, the KISS rule, and just do what we know you can do, right?
Yep.
And we'll take care of everything else, and the defense will take care of you too. And
You know-
that's kind of what's happening. I don't know if this is I'll be the first to admit he has looked really good. Yeah, these first couple of weeks, because I've been just like everybody else, been putting more dirt on him than right. So I'll be the first one to say he's been playing very well. We'll see if it continues, right? But as of right now,
I'd like to add a couple of things onto that, and I think the other part of this is I'm going to start calling this the Saquon effect, and you know where I'm going with this. It all started when Saquon Barkley was with the Giants for his first 5 years of his rookie deal. Then they let him out the door, by paying Daniel Jones, which we all sat there and went, "What are you doing?" And the Eagles pick him up, and that year they win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Off pretty much the legs and back of Saquon Barkley. So now Daniel Jones goes out the door, goes to another team, and he's thriving in 2 games. And so I really think that this is an even bigger condemnation of the New York Football Giants organization as a whole. Brian Daboll is probably going to be on the hot seat. Giants fans are going to call for John Mara's head. They're going to want a flushing of that entire front office, because you have 2 players, that were supposed to be stars, and they're becoming stars in other organizations. The second year in a row that this has happened. And, I'm going to start calling it the Saquon effect. We might see it with other teams. What say you?
Well, and with the Daniel Jones situation, I like to call it the Baker effect, because
that's fair.
You go to a different team as a reclamation project, and here you are, and it's really looking kind of good for the Colts right now. Now, do I think the Colts are going to go to the Super Bowl? No. Do I think the Colts are going to win it all? No. But they're making some waves this year. They're making some noise, and Daniel Jones has made a case for himself as a legitimate starting quarterback in this league, and this might be a situation where we're looking and going, this is a condemnation on Brian Daboll more than anybody, because Brian Daboll, he wasn't able to bring this out of Daniel Jones other than the one season where they looked good and they went to the divisional round. Daniel Jones had some really good times, in that one season. Beyond that, Daniel Jones has struggled his entire career, and now you see what Shane Steichen's able to do with that skill set and what he's accomplishing. This is interesting to see Danny Jones go to this level and be this good and take a really tough Broncos defense to task. I'm pretty impressed.
Absolutely.
Yep, I'm impressed. The Broncos, in the meantime, go to 1-1. I mean, hey, they still have been looking really, really good. I think the Broncos are going to make some waves too. They're continuing to make some waves. They've got a showdown coming up with the Chiefs down the line. They got the Chargers this upcoming week coming right down the chute. So get ready for that. Next up, Cardinals go out and beat the Panthers 27-22. The Cardinals wanted to.
I'm sorry, I got to break in real quick. And I think the ownership of the Indianapolis Colts, forgive me, the woman's name, she's making history. Forgive me, I do not have her name at the tip of my tongue. Carly, the group, the girl,
the daughters,
Ursay, the
Ursay's daughters, yep.
What's the one that's she's on the sideline with a headset on,
Yep.
Because, and I read one of her quotes. I'm not gonna pull that thing. I ain't got time for that. But basically, she's saying, I need to know, does this person know what they're talking about?
Carly Ursay Gordon.
And I knew it was a G something. Yeah, she's on the sideline with a headset, trying to figure out what's what. This is the first female we've seen do that. Martha wasn't doing that. No, Sheila ain't doing that. But she's down there on the sidelines, listening in, trying to figure what's going on. And you know what? I'm thinking she probably said, "How much money are we paying Daniel Jones? How much money are we paying Anthony Richardson? Who's gonna play?"
Yep. Yeah, she's actually been spot on as an owner so far. So you gotta like that.
Have to. Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff. Next up, the Arizona Cardinals go out and beat the Panthers 27-22. The Cardinals wanted to give this game away, man. The amount of opportunities they gave the Carolina Panthers to win this football game was baffling.
Who had money on that?
Exactly. Bryce Young, 35 for 55, 328 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Chuba Hubbard, just 10 carries in this game, 38 yards. I mean, well, why are we only giving Chuba Hubbard the ball fucking 10 times? Like,
that makes no sense. And listen, we start getting nervous when the throw count gets up to like in the mid 40s. 55? What are we doing here?
Exactly. Tetaroa McMillan, 6 receptions for 100 yards. Tavion Sanders, love seeing him getting involved, 7 receptions for 54 yards. Hunter Renfrow, 7 for 48, 2 touchdowns on the day. Bryson Tremaine, 3 for 48, and Chuba did get 5 catches for 39 yards and a TD there to kind of salvage his day. But, man, you got to get Chuba Hubbard the ball. Stick it in his gut, let him run the goddamn football. It doesn't make sense. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, 17 for 25, 220 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. James Conner, this is another one. James Conner, 11 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown. Kyler also had 7 carries for 32 yards. There we go. He had a 4.6 average on the day. Trey McBride was his favorite target, though, 6 receptions, 78 yards. Elijah Higgins, 2 for 45. Trey Benson did have 4 for 30. Michael Wilson, he was the lone touchdown scorer as far as the receptions go. 1 reception, 11 yards, and a TD. James Conner, if you're going to make him your number 1 back, hand off the ball to him more. If you're not, then you need to make the transition over to Trey Benson. I saw Trey Benson on the field way, way, way too much in situations where Trey Benson wasn't being used for anything spectacular, and he wasn't pass blocking extremely well either when I saw him out there in pass blocking reps. To me, James Conner should have been the guy that was getting the ball more. He should have been handed the ball more. I don't understand all of the Trey Benson use currently unless you're actually trying to transition over to Trey Benson as your bell cow back. Am I missing something there?
Not at all. They definitely should be, at least, at the very least, getting him involved because he is a strong runner. He always falls forward, and he produced at Florida State. And if he's given more of an opportunity here in Arizona, he'll produce. I believe that.
And technically, he had a better average than James Conner. It's not like James Conner was necessarily efficient. Right. But the thing was, my problem comes in where you paid James Conner all this money. Yeah. Right. You gave him an extension. You paid him all this money, and now you're barely using James Conner. And then you got Trey Benson over here, who was damn good at Florida State, who we raved about coming out in college last year. And here we go. Trey Benson gets 3 carries for 14 yards, and you're sticking him in pass pro, which, to be honest with you, I don't know that's his game really. I mean, he's a runner, and that's what you should have him doing. James Conner is a good pass protector,
absolutely,
but Trey Benson, that's not really his style.
No.
So I mean, it's kind of like, what are we doing? I don't understand.
He's going to have to get better. He being Trey Benson's going to have to get better at that if he wants more opportunity. But the thing about this game is, look.
And also Marvin Harrison Jr., where the hell is he?
Starving Marvin.
They were starving Marvin.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they were doing. Yeah. Good one, Alex. Here's the thing. Bryce Young, man. Let me tell you. I've had respect for his game for years now. We know this.
Yep.
I've always talked about it, right? Last season, after the overseas game with the against the Giants, when Carolina won, we started to see Bryce Young, the light turned on after that benching for Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
And then, those 2 or 3 games or whatever.
Do you think they need to do that every year?
Just bench him for a couple of games. Yeah, I think that might be beneficial.
Do it right at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Weeks 1, 2, and 3, you're gonna sit on your ass and watch Andy Dalton out there.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what they should do. Because Bryce Young ain't been proving me right. He's making me look bad. Bryce, I'm trying to defend you. I'm trying to let these people know how good you are at the quarterback position, but you're not helping my case. Yeah. I need your brother. Come on now. But it's going to be work for him because now they've lost Robert Hunt for the year, and the center too. The other guy that they paid a lot of money to. So they've lost the center and the guard.
Yeah.
Which is what you need, which is what I said.
That's what they needed like last couple of years.
Yeah, to be able to insulate that interior so that a shorter quarterback, as he is, has more ability to get the ball downfield. And where's Xavier Legit? Where's he been?
Nowhere.
God,
That guy stinks. I'm sorry,
man. I love Xavier Legit. I love the game coming out of South Carolina, and it seemed like he was about to take that next lead because he had a really good season last season. Being a rookie, it was a nice rookie year. But now it's like, brother.
But the thing is like every year we get fooled by the guy who's a workout warrior, right? We get fooled by a guy like that in the draft. He comes out in the draft. He's a workout warrior. He's in great shape. He's a great physical specimen. Oh my gosh, look at how great he is. Physically, look how good he looks. And then he comes out and stinks.
He didn't last year though.
He wasn't good last
year. He was. Look him up.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, brother. We about to look him up right here, right now, real time.
Oh boy.
Yeah, David Legette. Look up those stats. This is only his second season. Maybe he hit the rookie wall last year and then, just never got off of it because this has not been a really good start.
He only had 497 yards and 4 touchdowns last year.
Only
hey, 497 and 4.
That's not bad. We remember what we were saying about the offensive line, right? We remember what we were saying about Adam Thielen was making hay, right? Jalen Coker was doing things. That's a rookie year, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. That ain't bad. How many receptions?
49.
That ain't bad.
I got questions.
Dog, he wasn't the first round draft pick.
He was.
he
was. Yeah, he was.
No, he was not.
He got drafted just after Ricky Pearsall. He was number 32 in the draft.
Let me see.
he
might as well be a second rounder.
Yeah. He was
round 1, pick 32.
There you go.
That ain't bad. Show up.
Show up and show out. Try to.
I had questions about Legette, but here we are. I mean, the Panthers. I mean, are they going to be able to turn it on? Are we going to see what we saw last year, where they just came alive late in the season, and that's what we got?
You got a couple of games to do it. I mean, you got a divisional matchup against the Falcons. You got the Patriots. You got the Dolphins. I mean, if you're gonna turn it on any game, it's that Dolphins game because again, the Dolphins are cooked. So if you can't beat a dead fish, it might be time to hang it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I think they're about cooked. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about these Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Eagles. Chiefs 20-17. The Eagles, man, the Chiefs rather. They were without Xavier Worthy. He's been back on the practice field after suffering that shoulder injury in Week 1. But man, they were without him in this game, and they struggled quite a bit. Patrick Mahomes, 16 for 29, 187 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Mahomes did run the ball a lot in this game. 7 carries, 66 yards. He had a 9.4 average. He did have a touchdown on the day.
He pretty much carried the team on his back.
Yeah, they couldn't get the run game going. Travis Kelce, 4 receptions for 61 yards. He had a drop that resulted in a nasty interception.
That's what.
Yep. And they kept doing this. And Mahomes, he's probably got, I think, 4 of his incompletions were to Tyquan Thornton. They have been desperately trying to connect with Tyquan Thornton repeatedly. It seems like once a drive, they just toss it up there for him and hope that he's going to get underneath it. Eventually he did. He's got 2 receptions for 59 yards and a touchdown. But it just looked like they were just repeatedly trying to span that deep ball. And
they need that. You remember a few years ago when the Chiefs offense was super explosive?
Yeah.
When Tyreek Hill was running down the field and Cheetah was catching that ball deep, 50, 60, 70 yards, right? And that's what Tyquan Thornton can give you. Right, not quite as explosive as Tyreek Hill, but he has that take the top off the defense. I took the top off. I took the top off. Right, he's got that. I took the top off my Maybach. That's what he's got, and that's what the Chiefs are trying to unlock. And when Mahomes and Thornton get him on the same page, because Thornton just got there a few weeks back, right? So when their timing is and the rhythm and the chemistry starts clicking, watch out.
Yep, and then also the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, 15 for 22, 101 yards. Saquon Barkley had 22 carries for 88 yards and a touchdown. Hurts did carry the ball 9 times for 15 yards and a TD. A lot of tush pushing going on there.
Yep.
Devontae Smith, 4 receptions, 53 yards. A.J. Brown, 5 receptions for 27 yards. This Eagles team, they've changed coordinator. This is, and I've likened this to when the Buffalo Bills changed to Joe Brady. This is what this has become. They have these 2 number 1 receivers. They have a 1A, 1B situation over there. The 1B is getting more catches and better routes than the 1A because the 1A is being used as a diversion. They're running the ball a lot. They're running with their quarterback a lot. This is like a Joe Brady system if I've ever seen it. And that's what their new offensive coordinator is doing over there with the Eagles. It's just baffling. And, Kellen Moore left last year when he took over the Saints head coaching job. Yeah. I mean,
somehow, once again, Jalen Hurts has to he's only had the same offensive coordinator for 2 years in a row once in his entire football career. I'm talking high school, college, and pro. He's only had the same offensive coordinator once for 2 straight years.
Yeah, and Kevin Patullo is their offensive coordinator right now, and
it speaks to Jalen Hurts' talent to continue to be able to produce and win games.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
That's the gift and that's the curse. It is working. And we keep talking about the tush push, the brotherly shove. Call it what you want. I call it a cheat code. People are saying, hey, these guys are like lined up, they should be calling false start on the center because he's lined up way over the ball to try to, dig underneath and, get the offensive line up.
But it's not even just that. They saw, and they did slow motion replays of this. They saw, I think it was 5 false starts against the Eagles that went uncalled when it comes to this tush push play. And Nick Sirianni admitted that these didn't get called and they should have been called. So kudos to him for that. But he says, we're going to fix that situation. But
after the fact, after they win,
we'll tighten that up, you know. But I mean, to his credit, at least he called himself out after they won. But at the end of the day, I mean, we've said it before. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? That's
I don't say that.
We've said that before.
I know.
Oh no! Come on! I know you said that, but
hell no, I said that.
They beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs 0-2 for the first time in a long time.
Mahomes' career.
Yeah, and here's the Kansas City Chiefs,
and 3 straight games since February.
Yeah, this is a scary situation if you're a Chiefs fan. This Chiefs team does not look like the Kansas City Chiefs of old.
I do want to say if you're a new school Chiefs fan who jumped on the bandwagon, and if you're a Swiftie, but old time Chiefs fans kind of remember the lean years before Alex Smith came in and Andy Reid came in and then Patrick Mahomes came in. They built it up. They built that team up over several years, but we talked about it all last year. This Kansas City Chiefs team has slowly started to decline ever since they won their last Super Bowl, and they were going for the three-peat. They barely escaped they barely escaped Denver. They got beat by Buffalo in the regular season. And they were just getting it. They were doing just enough to get it done, and so if you're a Chiefs fan, especially a new school Chiefs fan, you're kind of sweating a little bit. You really want to see this Kansas City Chiefs team break out the sledgehammer against the New York Giants. And I'll tell you what, you want to shock the world, Brian Daboll? You want people to start paying attention to you? How about you show up and show out against the former, the former Super Bowl champions in your stadium? Because I'll tell you what, if the Chiefs even give the Kansas City Chiefs, if the Giants give if the Giants give the Chiefs even a modest fight, then a lot of exclamation points are going to start going off in a lot of people's heads.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of question marks already about the Chiefs, especially starting 0-2. There were a lot of question marks last year, in spite of the fact that they made it to the Super Bowl, because they did. Credit to them. There were a lot of questions throughout the season about, is this Chiefs team for real? Are they just escaping? Are they actually winning? Are they escaping? And then we saw in the Super Bowl, and they got dominated by the Eagles. I mean, dominated.
That was the situation where the Eagles took it personally. And I think the Chiefs kind of got fat and sassy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe weren't as prepared as they should have been, whereas the Eagles were a little bit more focused.
Yep, I agree. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about this Sunday Night Football beating. The Atlanta Falcons go out and beat the Minnesota Vikings 22-6.
It should have been 40-6.
I agree. Michael Penix, 13 for 21, 135 yards. Bijan Robinson, 22 carries for 143 yards. Tyler Algier had 16 for 76 and a touchdown. Drake London, three receptions for 49 yards. Kyle Pitts, 4 for 37. Bijan Robinson, 3 for 25. Meanwhile, the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, 11 for 21 for 158 yards, 2 interceptions on the day. Jordan Mason, 9 carries for 30 yards. Justin Jefferson had 3 receptions for 51 yards. Jalen Naylor had 3 for 31. Adam Thielen, 2 for 26.
I see Justin Jefferson at 3 for 81, but I mean, same difference.
3 for 81, my fault. But let's first talk about the Falcons. Look, this Falcons team, they've been struggling to move the ball for the last couple of weeks. I've noticed that. But other than one player who I would argue right now, I'm sorry, he's the best player in football right now, Bijan Robinson. Last 2 weeks, he's looked like a star. Just the star that he is. 22 carries for 143 yards against this defense. Well, and I understand there's injuries. I understand that there wasn't, Blake Cashman, and there's no Andrew Van Ginkel and no Harrison Smith.
No Harrison Smith.
I get it.
And no push whatsoever from the defensive line. And the Falcons did whatever they wanted on the ground.
But the Falcons have one of the best offensive lines in all of football. They have. And they have for a minute, and here we are. And you see what Bijan Robinson can do with good protection. I mean, that's just what it is. 22 for 143, and he gashed them all night. The Falcons, they've been struggling to pass the football a little bit. Drake London hasn't been nearly as involved as I thought he would be. Kyle Pitts getting quite a bit involved, though, which has been kind of a revelation here. I mean, everybody's been saying, oh, Kyle Pitts is cooked, Kyle Pitts is cooked. Well, here we are. Kyle Pitts has actually looked halfway decent the first couple of weeks. Even though he only had 4 for 37 against his defense, he had a 9.2 average on the day. So, it wasn't a bad showing from him. Meanwhile, on the Vikings side of things, first of all, we were talking on the show last week about, let's see if this fourth quarter that we saw from J.J. McCarthy in week 1, if it carries over, well, we know he's a guy. Well, it didn't carry over, and here we are. J.J. McCarthy looked horrible. He stared down his number 1 receiver, didn't go through his progressions. When he did go through his progressions, he went to throw the ball. He had this big, long, drawn-out wind-up that I just never seen before in my life. It's like, what happened to that quick throw you used to have? I don't understand the logic behind Kevin O'Connell getting away from running with Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason is the bell cow back. We've been talking about that for 2 weeks. Aaron Jones has not been good running the football. Now he's hurt. He gets a hamstring injury, so we're not going to see Aaron Jones. So Jordan Mason is going to draw the start. Thank God. Aaron Jones hits IR with a hamstring injury, so he's out. I understand there was a lack of protection here because Ryan Kelly did go out with a concussion. And
Christian Darrisaw.
And you didn't have Christian Darrisaw, you're right. Michael Juergens, he's likely going to draw the start if Ryan Kelly can't go. Juergens never saw an NFL game before, but man, this team looked horrible. The defense, and you're right, it should have been 40-6, but the defense, and this is what it's been for the last 2 weeks, they have been busting their asses to keep this team in games when the offense can't stay on the friggin' field.
And the biggest part of it is the Raheem Morris. I don't know what they're doing with the Falcons offense, just not being able to score in the red zone. What are you doing? What's missing, right? The offensive play calling. I wrote it in the group chat when I said who I thought was going to win. I said Raheem screws it up and Minnesota wins. Yeah. Raheem Morris, the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, because I struggle to understand some of the decision making that he produces as the head coach, and I think that's going to be the Achilles heel and completely screw up the Falcons season. I'm sorry.
Yep. I agree with you. I didn't like him as a head coaching hire. That's one. I just didn't like him as a head coaching hire. I didn't think that he really should have been a head coach. I think he should have stayed as a defensive coordinator with the Rams. I think that's really kind of his bread and butter. I don't think he's a good head coach. And here we are. He goes over to Atlanta, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. God.
I think that's what's going to hold them back. Michael Penix Jr., especially his development. But at the same time, man, JJ.
Oh man,
JJ McCarthy.
we called this.
I've been saying it for three.
We called this.
I'm gonna shut up.
He made us eat the words in the fourth quarter of that first game. In the fourth quarter, but if you look at the rest, it's 8 quarters, and he's only had one good quarter of play. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you, I'll go even further with that. He didn't make me eat my word because I still saw Justin Jefferson bail him out on that last touchdown throw. He bailed him out. J.J. McCarthy, he struggles to throw the football with any real velocity. Like, you see him, and he's like powering his entire body to throw the ball. Yep. And it's still fluttering. There's no real zip. There's no consistency. There are a few passes where he looks really good, right? Just about any NFL quarterback, will get.
He had that nice 50-yard pass at the end of the half to Jefferson. That was nice.
But other than that, the vast majority of his throws, they flutter, they flail, they're underthrown.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, there's so many passes going in the dirt.
Yeah.
I don't understand why these passes are going out and they're falling so low to a lot of these receivers, a lot of these tight ends, guys in the flat.
Yeah.
He's throwing it to the flat and it's underthrown.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing?
And he is not feeling the pressure.
Right.
That was one thing that I also noticed with Atlanta. Darius Saul's not going to be in the game. They got James Pierce, Atlanta does, and Traylon Walker. These things. That the pressure is bearing down on you. You're not stepping up in the pocket. You're not feeling the pressure, and you're getting yourself sacked a couple of times.
Yep, and with all of those sacks comes injuries, and J.J. McCarthy does suffer a high ankle sprain versus the Falcons. He's not going to play in Week 3 against the Bengals, and here comes Carson Wentz to draw the start. Now, listen, I have never been more excited.
Oh, right.
To see a backup quarterback come trotting onto the field as I am right now.
I can see that.
Knowing what we know about Kevin O'Connell, knowing what we know about his quarterback reclamation projects, knowing what we know about how Carson Wentz grew up a Vikings fan, making a start for his favorite team now, and he's going to make a start at US Bank Stadium here against a Bengals defense that stinks.
It's the best start that he could have.
Yep, and now we're in a situation, and we're looking over, going, man, oh man, and I'm like, I hope Carson Wentz is it. I hope this is another Case Keenum year. I hope this is what we're going to see. Yeah, because man, JJ ain't it.
It's just one problem. Carson Wentz, he's not what he used to be.
Yep.
Right? And so we're getting Carson Wentz on the way down side, right? The B side of the record.
And we're wondering though, is this Carson Wentz, going to be like Sam Darnold? I mean, we got we got Wentz here. He's 32 years old, I think now. He's been in the league 10 years. Yeah. And are we going to see Carson Wentz turn into a reclamation project? And that's going to be a question. And then on the other end, on top of it being a reclamation project, I also find myself going, what if the worst happens? What if we go out, given his history, given the history of Carson Wentz and his history of injuries, and Carson Wentz goes out and gets hurt? Is this going to be the Max Brosmer show? And I'm like, something's got to give here. We got to figure out what's going on. And we saw great things in the preseason out of Brosmer. I'm curious about a lot. I think at this point, I can honestly say, and look, people might not like this take, but my honest opinion, after seeing both these guys play, I saw them in the preseason. I got to see McCarthy in the regular season. Right now, I think Max Brosmer's better than J.J. McCarthy. And I
wouldn't argue that.
Yeah, I think right now Brosmer diagnoses faster. I think he's got better arm talent. I think he's more accurate. I think he has more pocket presence. I think he scrambles better. I think Brosmer is the better quarterback. And like if it was me and I was Kevin O'Connell, I would be looking over and going, "Hey Max, let's go work on stuff and start grooming him as the next guy because McCarthy ain't it." I'm telling you right now, I do not feel J.J. McCarthy is it for the Minnesota Vikings. Also, with that Aaron Jones injury, that hamstring injury, and we missed if we didn't mention this, coming back to the Minnesota Vikings, Cam Akers signs a one-year deal with the Vikings. So Akers returns for the third year in a row. So he's back in town. That leaves, we've got Mason, and now we've got Cam Akers, who's on the practice squad, who will probably get called up into the RB2 situation. And you have Xavier Scott over there, who has actually been pretty electric as a preseason guy. But the Vikings, they got a showdown with the Bengals coming up here. We'll see if Carson Wentz is it. Then we had the doubleheader on Monday Night Football. The Bucs go out and beat the Houston Texans 20-19. Baker Mayfield.
A game.
Yeah, fun game to watch. Baker Mayfield, his second come-from-behind victory in as many games. 25 for 38, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns for Baker Mayfield. Bucky Irving, 17 carries for 71 yards. Rashad White, 10 carries for 65 yards, including the go-ahead touchdown run. Mike Evans, 5 receptions for 56. Bucky Irving had 6 for 50. They're struggling to get the football out to Mike Evans right now in this new offensive scheme without Liam Cohen. Emeka Egbuka, he goes out and gets 4 receptions for 29 yards. He gets a touchdown. He's got 3 touchdowns in 2 games now. Cade Otton, 3 for 25. Ryan Miller, man, he just pops up on the stat sheet every now and then. 1 reception for 20 yards in the TD. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud continues to struggle. 13 for 24, 207 yards and a touchdown. Nick Chubb, 12 carries for 43 yards. He did have a nice touchdown run there in this game. Nico Collins, 3 for 52 yards and a touchdown. And Woody Marks, man, 1 for 37. I mean,
Jaquavius.
Come on, it's Woody Marks.
Jaquavius Woody Marks.
But look, Nick Chubb, first of all, he ain't an RB1. But the thing that stands out to me is C.J. Stroud, 4 carries for 27 yards. You never saw C.J. Stroud have to scramble that much. And the Houston Texans did that poor kid a disservice. They got rid of their offensive line. They sold off their parts. They got him nothing to protect him, and now he's getting the hell beat out of him. And they're going to sit there and wonder why such a great player is struggling in their system, and he's going to have to eat all the criticism because their front office can't do their damn job and keep this poor kid protected. He's one of the best quarterbacks out there, and you're just wasting him.
Right. Yeah. Ever since Laramie Tunsil went out the door, it's been a night and day situation.
Yep. Other players as well. Again, they drafted Arianti Ursary, who they beat King Stand Up.
And he's done extremely well for them.
And I saw him struggle a little bit trying to figure, the blitz packages that Todd Bowles are going to send, it'll have your head spinning. And he did an okay job, but then he did a bad job the very next play. And C.J. Stroud has been struggling mightily because of the deficiencies in the offensive line. That's too bad to see. But I will say this about Baker Mayfield. Joins only Doug Williams as the only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history to open the season with back-to-back game-winning drives. And back-to-back games.
Yep. And we talked about Arianti Ursary. Ursary, in game 1, he looked he looked rough in game 1 against LA, but game 2, he had a 69.1 pass blocking grade. It seemed like he turned it around. He only had a 29.4 against the Rams.
Well, you got to going against Jared Verse.
Exactly, going against Jared Verse. Jared Verse, we saw what he does. But at the end of the day, Ursary, he looked pretty good in this game, it's a tough road here for the Houston Texans. They're going to have to figure out something Meanwhile, the Bucs, this sudden split backfield between Bucky Irving and Rachaad White, it's been a split a little bit more here. It's kind of interesting to see with Rachaad White getting a lot more carries than we saw last season, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we saw Rachaad White get a bunch early and Bucky kind of show up later on in the season.
Right.
And now they're kind of starting at even.
Yeah.
Where Rachaad White's role was diminished towards the end of the year. Injuries played a role in that, but at the same time, Bucky Irving's play played a role in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the Bucs, they got some struggles here on the defensive side of the ball. Defensive tackle Elijah Cansey, he suffers a torn pec in this game. He's placed on season-ending IR. So,
no.
Yep. And then the Bucs they're gonna be back at the back to the drawing board here, trying to figure out what they're going to do with the defensive tackle position.
Yep, and they also got a problem with their starting right guard, Cody Mauch. He's out for the season with a knee injury.
Yeah,
Cody Mauch. I love Cody Mauch.
Yeah, Mauch
from North Dakota State.
Missing them front teeth.
Yeah, man. You want to talk about an offensive lineman look?
Yep.
That was that damn.
And he looked really good at his combine performance, if you recall, as well.
Absolutely.
Yes, he did. And last but not
Senior Bowl too.
Yeah. Last but not least, let's talk about these Chargers dominating the Vegas Raiders, 20-9. The Chargers, man, looking good to start the season. Justin Herbert, 19 for 27, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns on the year, or 2 touchdowns on the day rather. Quentin Johnston had 3 receptions for 71 yards and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 5 for 61 and a touchdown. Ladd McConkey, 5 for 48. A lot of people wondering, where's Ladd? Ladd has been he has been kind of wavering here. People are wondering why Ladd McConkey isn't blowing up the way and Quentin Johnston's getting all these looks. Is Quentin Johnston turning around? Are we going to see the 1,000-yard Quentin Johnston?
We definitely could. I believe that a lot of teams started scheming for Ladd McConkey because they realized what he was able to do last season.
Yeah.
And now Quentin Johnston can benefit from that. And as well as the second year, in the offense, that Greg Roman offense, now more things are being added and things are being layered in. And it's been nice for Mr. Johnson.
Yep. Offensive struggles for Geno Smith here. 24 for 43, 180 yards, 3 interceptions here.
Yikes.
Didn't talk about Omarion Hampton.
Now, Hampton, he struggled at the beginning of the year, too. 8 carries for 24 yards and 3 average.
Yeah, it ain't good.
No.
I don't know what's going on there. Couldn't tell you. But Najee Harris, apparently he was supposed to be missing in action for a while, but he's showing up.
Yep.
But the run game, the run game of the Chargers, it's still not quite where it should be, especially given Harbaugh's propensity for the run and Greg Roman's propensity to be able to produce strong run game.
But that's what happens when you lose your best offensive tackle, right?
That's true.
I mean, that's Rashawn Slater not being there does cause a problem.
It does.
So, and then meanwhile with the Raiders, I mean, Smith, like I said, he's having a lot of offensive issues here. The game 1, he was fine. Game 2, holy crap. Guy that can't get going, Ashton Genty has just not gotten going here.
Man, and I said it, I don't know if I'm sure I said it here.
Maybe.
But if I didn't, I'm going to say it now. What did the Raiders do with their offensive line?
Yeah, nothing.
Thank you.
Yeah, 11 carries.
So now this kid is once again playing behind the Boise State offensive line.
Yep.
Because they didn't help him out.
Yep.
They didn't insulate it. They didn't give him any hog mollies up there to push people off the line of scrimmage. And now he's got to do it all on his own.
Yep, 11 carries, 43 yards in this one, a 3.9 average. Jacoby Myers, 6 receptions for 68 yards. Brock Bowers, 5 for 38. I'm telling you, Brock Bowers, you're going to see, I know he's hurt. I know he's a little banged up. But when we see a number like that, I get concerned because it's a Pete Carroll offense, and Pete Carroll's offenses are where tight ends go to die. Dante Thornton, 1 reception for 20 yards. Dylan Lowry, who we loved, two receptions for 17 yards. I mean, look, the Chargers defense has been really good this year. They've been dominating. They dominated the Raiders here. Is Justin Herbert on his way to a potential MVP campaign here? He's looked damn good in the first 2 weeks.
He looked good, but I'd be hard pressed to say MVP.
I mean,
that's a hard mountain to climb because, brother, Josh Allen right there.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson right there.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes still right there. So you're looking at
I don't know.
Listen,
Holmes hadn't looked good.
Let me tell you something. If the Chiefs go on a 10-game win streak and Mahomes is putting up 240, 250, 3 or 4 touchdowns
We might be
week,
having a different conversation.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So there's still a lot of people ahead of Herbert in that vein. But is he a part of the conversation? Sure.
This is the best he's looked so far.
Yeah.
Chargers did have a little defensive issue. Edge rusher Khalil Mack, he did suffer a dislocated elbow in this game. He avoided it being season-ending. He will return in a few weeks, as far as the medicals say. So we're going to be without Khalil Mack for
nasty looking injury too, running into his own teammate. I mean, for half a second, his arm was bending the wrong way.
Yeah, it was pretty grody. But at the end of the day, the Chargers go out and win this game 20-9. And those are our scores and our news around the league. We got a couple just quick news stories real quick. And one thing I didn't mention during the Lions game, Lions defensive end Marcus Davenport listed as questionable for this week after leaving the game versus the Bears with ankle and shoulder injuries. He's got no updates as of this afternoon. Marcus Davenport, exactly. Rain is wet. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, death taxes and Marcus Davenport injuries.
Not a whole lot I can say.
Everybody says he's made of glass. I think that's, really sort of being rude to the glass. But in any case, Davenport down. And another quick piece of news, the Washington, D.C. City Council has approved the Washington Commanders returning to the old RFK Stadium site with a brand new stadium.
Ooh.
Very excited about that. Washington, D.C. is doing the right thing, getting the Commanders back to the RFK Stadium site. Love it.
Me too.
And
I always love hearing RFK Stadium.
Yeah.
I did like hearing FedEx Field.
Yeah, what's that? Ain't nobody got time for that.
And speaking of their opponents from Thursday night, I don't know if you mentioned this. Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed suffered a broken collarbone in the Thursday night football game. He has been placed on IR and will miss 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, usually that happens 6 to 8. They say 6 to 8 weeks, but man, that injury is usually like 12. Yeah. Usually that's about all she wrote.
Last 2 years, he led the team in receptions and receiving yards. So that sucks.
Yeah,
for the Packers.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough go for them.
Matthew Golden, step up, rookie.
And so far he hasn't.
It's an opportunity.
Yeah,
Sure is.
It is. So moving forward, we are jumping into the NFL Top 100. We are jumping in. We're at 50 right now. We're at number 50. Alex and I covered the last 10. We've got. We're going to be going through 5 spots today. We're going to be jumping in from 50 to 46. Starting out with one Baker Mayfield. Boots, you love you some Baker Mayfield. I love some Baker Mayfield. He looked amazing last year. 4,500 passing yards. He had 28 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. He did fumble the ball 13 times, but Baker Mayfield, man, golly, hell of a player. He was a reclamation project really for the Buccaneers, and he's turned out to be one hell of a reclamation project. He finished with a 106.8 passer rating and a 71.4% completion percentage during the regular season, both of which set new Buccaneers franchise records, that according to NFL Pro Insight on Mayfield. I mean, won the NFC South title last year, made it to the playoffs. I mean, Boots, how you feeling about some Baker Mayfield?
Love Baker Mayfield. You already know. Yeah. Since he was at a walk-on at Texas Tech, went on to Oklahoma, stuck the flag in the field when they beat Ohio State. Yeah. I said, that's my guy. From here on in, Baker Mayfield is my dude. Cleveland didn't do him any favors. Then he gets shipped around to Carolina. Had a little cup of coffee with the Rams. Yeah. Actually beat the Seahawks in the playoffs, or to keep the Seahawks out of the playoffs, or the Rams in. And then the Rams let him go to Tampa Bay. I don't know why they did that, but he went for the hey. Brady ain't gonna be there forever. Might as well go get some starter bread, right?
Might as well.
And he has led that team to the playoffs and has done some really, really good things in Tampa. Love Baker Mayfield. He's one of those guys who's always got the motor going, and he's got supreme confidence, and he knows what he can and cannot do, but he is willing to stick his nose in there for his team, and his teammates respect him, they love him, and they will follow him.
Yeah, he's a baller, man. He's always
man.
been. He's a leader. You gotta love it. Next up, let's talk about Quinyon Mitchell at 49. And real quick, because the game is starting here, Dolphins.
1, 2, 3.
Bills.
Bills.
Yeah, all right. Now, Quinyon Mitchell, man, look, 49. We loved Quinyon Mitchell coming out of the draft. We were big on him. Look, he's a great man coverage corner. He had 12 passes defended last year, 46 tackles. He is like the man coverage guy on that team. That's what he is. I mean, Cooper DeJean is like the zone guy. Quinyon Mitchell is the man coverage guy. And, man, I love me some Quinyon Mitchell. He only allowed an average of 1.5 yards per catch as the nearest defender in coverage last season. It was the fewest by any player with 30-plus touchdown or targets and 0.4 fewer than the next closest corner, and that was Patrick Surtain. So he's in really elite company there. I mean, look, Quinyon Mitchell is a stud. We knew he was a stud coming out of Toledo, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
And he was 22 years old, shutdown corner.
2 years, not last offseason, but the season prior to.
Yes.
A-list all-star.
Mm-hmm.
Number one corner.
Yep.
On the number one corner I had him as, and this is exactly why.
I was mad that you had him because I wanted him.
Yeah. And his brother, this was rookie year.
Yeah.
And the Philadelphia Eagles, they knew exactly what they're doing because who was number 60? Cooper DeJean,
Yep.
who was my 5 corner that season. So the Eagles knew exactly what they were doing. Those two guys showed up, showed out throughout the season, and especially in crunch time, in high leverage situations, Super Bowl, talking, high leverage, right? Pressure.
And they
showed up.
And they got both those guys in back-to-back rounds in that draft, first and second round.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Quinyon Mitchell. Number 48 goes to Jonathan Grenard, the Minnesota Vikings edge rusher. He had 59 tackles, 18 tackles for a loss, 12 sacks last year, 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. It was a 4-year deal he got signed a few years ago, and a lot of people laughed and said, oh, that guy can't replace Danielle Hunter. Well, man, I'll tell you what.
From Houston, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He showed up in a big way. He was just one of 2 edge rushers in the NFL alongside Myles Garrett to record 50-plus pressures, 10 sacks, 25-plus run stops. He had a run tackle for a loss in EPA and 10-plus run stuffs. He is one of the best edge rushers in football. Look, he had a Pro Bowl nod last year. He had a few points for the Defensive Player of the Year voting last year. He was one of the best edge rushers all year long, and for the last 2 years, really, since he signed that deal. And a lot of people were laughing, oh, man, that's a silly signing. No, it wasn't. He got him on a good deal.
Sure did. And the Minnesota Vikings know exactly what they're doing. Brian Flores, defensive coordinator, you can tell he's got a certain style. And what he does, he needs certain players to do it with. He can't just do what he does with anybody.
Yep.
And the strengths of Jonathan Grenard just mesh with how Flores wants to bring pressure, right? Pressure.
That's the big thing for him. Pressure.
Right?
Yeah.
Pressure, blitz, pressure burst pipes.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
And that's exactly what he does.
Yeah. Number 47, a guy that fell 46 spots. He was number 2. Now he's number 47. Tyreek Hill. Well, he was the number 1 in last year's list, rather. Look, he falls down to number 47. Tyreek Hill, he struggled.
He falls down a lot.
Yeah, he struggled all last year. I mean, with the quarterback issues and the scheme change and whatever else. Yeah, he tied for the second most receptions with 23 and gained the 4th most yards, 202, after being in motion at the snap last season. He gained 797 receiving yards after being in motion at the snap since joining the Dolphins in 2022, the most in the NFL since that span. He's a great player. He's just got all the off-the-field bullshit. But, I mean,
his house caught fire, had problems at home, got pulled over on his way to the stadium.
Yeah.
As a player, I'll take all of my personal feelings about other stuff out of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As a player, you would definitely want him on your team,
Oh yeah.
right? Stretch the defense. Take the top off. I took the top off. Take the top off the defense, just like he did for the Chiefs. I think the problem came a couple of years ago when publicly come out and saying that he wanted to break the record.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wanted to break the record. Here's the thing. It's a team sport. Right?
Who cares about your record?
Right?
Yeah.
And I think he tried to push for that.
Mhm.
And while that may help your team succeed, that's not the goal of the team.
And if your team's not winning in the first place,
Who cares?
yeah.
Right? And I think that was a selfish goal, especially to come out in the media and say it.
Yeah.
You know, that was a little bit selfish. And I think Mike McDaniel, the head coach, I think he pushed that narrative and he was trying to get him that record when what you really needed to do
Was invest in the offensive line.
Yeah. That's what they've been.
I'll leave it alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tyreek Hill as a player, still very good.
Number 46, and the last one we'll talk about today, Will Anderson. Alex, you love this guy. I love this guy. Boots, you love this guy. Look, the defensive end for the Houston Texans, he only played 14 games last season, but he was on our top rookies list, 37 tackles, 16 tackles for a loss, 11 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery last year. I mean, he's a stud. He had a Pro Bowl. He didn't return to the Pro Bowl in 24, but he was in the Pro Bowl in 23. He had 19% of his total pressures, which he had 58 of them, convert into sacks. So he had 11 last year, nearly doubling his sack conversion rate from his rookie season in 2023 at 10.9%. I mean, like, this guy, he went number 3 in the draft, or I think he went
Yeah,
number.
it was number 3 because C.J. Stroud went number 2, and then the Texans pulled off the trade of the century by basically selling the farm to get the number 3 pick to go 1-2 punch, and I think it's probably still one of the most effective 1-2 punches in NFL draft history. It's certainly going to go down.
Yeah, him and Daniil Hunter on the same defensive line is terrifying.
Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely terrifying.
And that's the reason why Houston was able to stick in that game against the Bucs the other night, because you got those two terrors on opposite ends, but at the same time, the Bucs without Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah.
And then Gedeke goes down in that same game. That's going to be tough for the Bucs to overcome that offensive line. But that also shows the power of Baker Mayfield, man.
Yeah.
Still got it done, brother.
At one point, he looked like he was hurt, and then he remembered he still had to get up and talk shit. And he stood up and got right in the guys. Right.
Yeah. That was fun to watch.
I got to go talk shit right now.
Yeah.
And in an interview at the post game interview, he was wearing the orange creamsicle shirt, and with the orange creamsicle background, and a reporter was asking him a question, and his simple response to the incident was, "We don't take shit." That's just kind of the kind of player he is, competitor.
Will Anderson Jr. is one of the best. I would say, put him where you want to. Top 5 defensive end.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's amazing. And he's still on a rookie contract, which is insane to me. And folks, that's our the NFL Top 100. We'll jump into the next 5 next week. But now we're going to jump into our predictions. We got spoilers.
However, allow me, if I could prevail upon you.
Oh boy.
If I could reveal is a better word, the Bootleg B team watch list for quarterbacks 2025.
You're gonna unveil it early.
I'm going to unveil it early because here's what we're gonna do.
Is this just a watch list? This isn't top prospect.
No,
okay.
This is our watch list, right, for the Bootleg B team, because I'm doing it different this. I've had to change things up. Right? You're things up.
You're an advocate for change.
Right?
Yeah.
An advocate for change. We're doing 7-on-7 style.
Okay.
This year, we're going Bootleg B team first team, Bootleg B team second team, Bootleg B team honorable mention.
Okay.
All right. It's going to be 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, 1 tight end.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
All right.
So we'll talk about the 11 quarterbacks that we're watching until we get to where we get our top 3. So without further ado, we're just going to go through these real quickly. I'm not going to take up a whole lot of time. We know people got things to do. So I'm just going to talk to you. Number 11, Alonzo Barnett III out of James Madison. 6 foot, 207 pounds. A lot of these guys are dual threat guys.
Yep.
But can also deliver from the pocket when necessary.
Kind of the college game there.
Right?
Yep.
All right. We got Brendan Lewis out of Memphis. 6'2", 210.
Looked pretty good.
Right? We got Braden Fowler Nicolosi.
That's a mouthful.
Colorado State, you better go see. Right? Billy Edwards Jr. out of Wisconsin, 6'3", 228. Here's the thing about Billy Edwards Jr. He went out early in the first game. We haven't seen him since. They hope to have him back this game against Maryland, his former team.
Okay.
Right? Number 7, we got Braylon Braxton out of Southern Miss, 6'2", 225.
Yep.
Right? I like his game. Blake Horvath at number 6.
You were big on Horvath.
I like Horvath.
Yeah.
He can run. He can throw it, especially for the Navy offense. That's rare.
Yeah.
Right? Number 5, Byram Brown. South Florida. Byram Brown.
You just the whole body went into
Too tough to bring down. Byram Brown. So we're going to be watching him. Number 4, out of Texas Tech at 6'2", 220 pounds, we got the Red Baron, Baron Morton.
Baron Morton. I've heard a little bit about Baron Morton. I didn't get to watch a lot of it.
Man, I'll tell you, cold actually.
Yeah.
Ice water ain't in his veins. The veins are frozen. You heard? All right. Number 3, we got Brendan Sorsby out of Cincinnati. 6'3", 225 pounds. Kind of runs like Aaron Rodgers in his prime.
Oh, boy.
I like him. Number 2, Carson Beck.
Yeah.
University of Miami.
Old Carson Beck showing up there for Miami. It looks like a
Right.
completely different player.
New scenery, new greenery.
Yep.
Spin the beanery. And number 1, at this point in time, just number 1, we're just going through the list. Rocco Becht out of Iowa State. Dude's got the it factor. And that's something I've been hearing of the past couple of weeks, but that's something that you also see. The guy has a way to just will the team to victory. When was the last time Iowa State beat Iowa back-to-back years?
Been a while.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to throw it out there also that if you were by you listing off all those players, what's the one thing that's missing from that list? None of those guys were in the projected the top 5.
There you go.
You know,
There
like
you go.
and I think that says a lot about what we see coming out of this college football season and how things have kind of shifted because those top 5 guys, the Nussmeyers and the Klubniks and you know, all the Aller, all those guys, they have not performed well.
Not at all.
Yeah, the Sellers, you know, now Sellers is hurt. I mean, we got questions.
Yeah.
I got questions. So, now
that segment was brought to you by Miss Berline's Pool Hall.
Old Miss Verlene.
Miss Berline's Pool Hall, the home of spade game and fish dinner since 1963.
All right. Thank you, Miss Verline, for that. Now, moving into our week 3 predictions.
Spoilers.
All
right. Well, now we got our week 3 spoilers, if you will. We already predicted the Thursday night matchup, Dolphins and Bills. That one has kicked off, so that one we all picked the Bills going into that. But let's jump into it. Here are our predictions for week 3 in the NFL, starting out with the Bengals and the Vikings, 1 o'clock. Look, I think Carson Wentz is going to completely change the trajectory of this team. I think you're going to see a lot more tight end usage because Carson Wentz loves to target the tight end. I think you're going to see a lot of TJ Hawkinson in this game. I think you're still going to see a lot of Justin Jefferson in this game. Carson Wentz hasn't had weapons like this in a long, long time. Go ahead and give me the Vikings over the Bengals here. Alex.
I'm going with the Vikings as well. Listen, the Bengals offensive line is just way too mangled. You know, they let Joe Burrow get hurt again. And let's not forget the Bengals defense is also not really up to snuff. So, plus for the reasons that you mentioned already. But, I'm more anti-Bengals than pro-Vikings here, but give me the Vikings.
Yeah. There's no way in the world. Give me Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I've got questions about Browning there and whether or not the Vikings defense is going to be able to harass him. So we're going to see.
He ain't going to be Browning. He's going to be frying.
Next,
with all that pressure we going to put on his ass.
Yep. Next up, Texans and Jags. The Jags have found a way to self-sabotage, but the Texans have too. Both these teams sitting at 0-2 right now, struggling. Well, actually, Jags are at 1-1. I take that back.
Might as well be.
Yeah, they might as well be. This one's a little tough. I'm actually going to go with the Jaguars here, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's always fun to see, it's an AFC South division game. And as we always say on this show, division games hit hard, hit different. So, and I will say that, you know what, go ahead and give me the Houston Texans. I think the Jaguars will, first of all, CJ Stroud and the Texans will find their stride. It's a division game. They'll be motivated. And I think, honestly, the Jaguars might find a way to screw it up.
It's been their MO. Boots.
Yeah, pretty much. Houston can't go 0-3. Give me the Texans.
All right. Next up, we're going to talk about Colts and Titans. Daniel Jones looks like he has the biggest career resurgence going on right now. I don't think this is any question. Give me the Colts.
Yeah, I will give me the Colts as well. I mean, the Titans are starting to find their footing, but D. Jones, man, we're really going to be starting to call him Danny Dimes again, and for good reason. It'll be closer than you expect because it's a division game, but still give me the Colts.
Boots.
Who's the head coach of Tennessee? Zach Thomas?
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor? Yeah, you can't go 0-3, Zach Taylor. Give me the Titans.
Wow.
I'm just saying. You go 0-3, you might be done for the season.
Yeah, might be. Next up, Raiders and Commanders. The Commanders, if they field Mariota, they the Raiders might have a better shot. Jaden Daniels hasn't exactly looked good, but neither the Raiders. Give me the Commanders, but I'm kind of going, it's going to be a toughie.
It's a get-right game for the Raiders, especially if Jaden Daniels is not going to be starting, but they're not going to do it. Give me the Commanders.
Boots.
I cannot see the Raiders going on the road and winning this game. I just can't see it. Give me Commanders.
Yeah.
It's 1 p.m. kick, and they're coming from the West Coast.
Easy money.
Yep. Next up, Rams and Eagles. This one's actually kind of tough. The Eagles had a really tough matchup against the Chiefs this last week. In the meantime, you got the Rams, who have looked pretty darn good. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Eagles here. But, man, part of me deep down says this might not be the right call. Go ahead and give me the Eagles.
Not so fast, my friend. And here's why. Yes, the Rams are going from the West Coast to the East Coast, and it's a 1 o'clock kick. Here's the difference. That defense is the Rams defense is better than the Chiefs defense. I said what I said. Okay? Think about that, huh? So, and yeah, you like that, Boots? And I'll tell you something else. If you can harass, if you can harass Jalen Hurts enough to where they don't get to those 3rd and 1s or 3rd and 2s, and if they can't use the tush push, you got a shot. And they almost beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship last year. So this is another rematch. I'm going with the Rams.
Boots.
Well, here's the thing. I talk about ego all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of time, hey, don't let your ego drive you over the cliff, right? Keep your ego in check. Don't let your ego control you. You control your ego. Well, as the great Sean Carter once said, sometimes you need your ego to remind these dudes who they effing with. So ego, yeah, baby. Talk to him for a minute. Man,
If you gonna use my stuff, Alex, at least you gotta give me some credit, baby. You can borrow my stuff, don't steal it, baby. All right, go ahead, boo. Okay, back, and I'm back. Give me the Eagles. We fly high.
There you go. Next up, Falcons and the Panthers. Panthers have not looked good. Falcons, look, Bijan Robinson is on a whole different level right now. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, really quick note about that last game. The NFC Championship game was the Commanders, not the Rams. The Rams were in the divisional round last year. Shout out to the package, Andrew Steele, on YouTube for pointing that out. As far as this Falcons-Panthers game goes, give me the Falcons. I mean, Panthers need to. It's a division game. It's different, but Bryce Young's going to get hit different too. Give me the Falcons.
Boots. Leave it to Andy, by the way.
Yeah, right? Leave it to your brother. Hey, no, you're wrong. Yeah. Right? That's what brothers do, right?
Big ups to Andy. That was a divisional round game. He is absolutely right.
I love that. Give me, there's no way in the world that the Carolina Panthers, not without Robert Hunt and I'm sorry, the blanking out of the guys, the other offensive line, without the offensive line. Yeah. Did you see how the Falcons' defensive line took control of that game against the Minnesota Vikings?
Yep.
They're going to do the same thing in Carolina. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah.
We fly high. Caw.
Next up, we got Steelers and Panthers. Steelers and Patriots, rather. Steelers looked a little rough last week. I don't think that continues. Go ahead and give me the Steelers here. I think they're going to dominate, and they're going to remind everybody just who in the hell they are.
Not so fast, my friend. I'm telling you, I think last week's game against the Seahawks was an anomaly. So I don't think the Steelers are going to have that much of a problem. And the Patriots defense is not like the Seahawks defense. That said, Drake May is going to outperform Aaron Rodgers here. I'm rolling the dice on this one. Give me the Patriots.
Boots.
Spending 2 years in New York, Aaron Rodgers learned a lot about the AFC East. Yep, and he will use this knowledge to defeat the New England Patriots. Give me the Steelers.
Yep, I agree with you there. Next up, Packers and the Browns. This one's a no-brainer. The Browns are embarrassing themselves, and there's a reason they're going to wear the brown pants on Sunday. Give me the Packers.
Notoriously, we've seen the Cleveland Browns mysteriously have a decent defense. But that Packers defense is the real deal, and so is that offense. If you're a Packers fan, you should expect an absolute beatdown. So give me the Packers big. But if this Cleveland Browns defense can hold this Packers team to a couple points, we might have a little bit of a different conversation.
Boots.
Ain't no way. The Packers will win the NFC North. What? I wrote it down. I wrote it down like I predicted. 13-4 record, 5-1 in the division. Give me the Packers.
Yeah. Next up, Jets and Bucks. This will be the Buccaneers all day. I don't trust Tyrod Taylor, and I don't trust the Jets right now. I trust the Buccaneers a lot more. Give me the Bucks.
I tend to agree. We're going to see if Tyrod Taylor can, keep things on the up and up. But, that defense needs to step up. But now here's the deal, though. Bucky Irving may not run the football as prolifically as their opponents this past week, the Bills. But if they can get Bucky Irving going on the ground, we're in a lot of trouble. Give me the Bucks.
I mean, that's all three on the Bucks. I don't see the Jets going on the road with the performances that they've given, the points that they've given up the last 2 weeks. Now you want to go on the road in the heat down in Florida
against Baker?
Come on, man. Yeah. Give me the Bucks.
Next up, Broncos and Chargers. Broncos, they lost a tough one last week. Chargers have been red hot. Look, give me the Chargers here. I think the Chargers go 3-0.
This one's going to be a fun matchup. Justin Herbert versus Bo Nix. And again, these two teams face off twice a year. So it's going to be a shootout, and both defenses are really, really good. So we may not see very high scoring here, but I give the edge to the Los Angeles Chargers.
This is where not having Rashawn Slater will really hurt, and not developing the run game will really hurt. I'm taking the Broncos.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that one. It's going to be a tight one. By the way, while we're on the topic of Bo Nix, hey, Vikings, it should have been Bo Nix. Just saying. What did I say? Next up, Saints and Seahawks. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take the Seahawks here. I think the Seahawks defense is going to bring Spencer Rattler back down to earth, back down to where he belongs, and they're going to shove his face in the dirt. Go ahead and give me the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, you're going to West Coast for a 405 kick. Yeah, and ain't it. Give me the Seahawks.
Boots.
Upset. Let's go, New Orleans. About it. Roddy Master P told me that. Wow.
I'll tell you what. If that O does go, we might have a conversation.
I think this is the third week in a row you're taking the Saints.
Third war, uptown, back up Boston. Ain't no salty. Better go to grill. We coming hard, shit.
Unbelievable. Next up, we got the Cowboys and the Bears. The Bears aren't going to want to go 0-3, but they're gonna. Go ahead and give me the Cowboys.
You cannot go 0-3, and you better pray to God that the Cowboys defense plays zone. Give me the Cowboys, although I don't know. This might be newborn Colt on ice football. It's going to be an ugly game. Whether Dallas goes up big or neither team seems to get into the end zone. I don't see this being a classic by any stretch of the imagination.
Ugly, huh? Yeah. UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. Hey, you ugly. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's terrible.
Love that. UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. We talked about it earlier. Zone coverage, man coverage. Matt Eberflus, known for man coverage.
Yep.
Give me the Cowboys.
Yep, that's where I'm going with it. Next up, we've got the Cardinals and the 49ers. Now, look, the Cardinals, if you recall, last year beat the brakes off the 49ers twice. Give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, let's hope that's they feed Marvin Harrison Jr. here. Kyler Murray needs to start throwing him the football. And I'm going to go ahead with the Arizona Cardinals. It's a divisional game. Hits different, but especially if you got Mac Jones instead of Brock Purdy. I mean, it's almost a lateral move though at quarterback if you sit there and think about it with the deficiencies they have in the offense. So I'll take the Cardinals, but we'll have to see.
Oops.
Problem is, the Arizona Cardinals, they don't look great. They won.
Defensively, they look good, but they offered a lot of opportunities over to the Carolina Panthers offensively by not moving the football.
And they just lost Garrett to injured reserve, the corner. So I don't think that – I think coaching wins this game for the 49ers.
Wow, there you go. I wouldn't be surprised. Next up, Chiefs and Giants. Look, I know the Giants just came off of it was the best game of their lives here, but give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, somebody's O has got to go, and the Giants are going to be a sacrificial lamb. The Chiefs are pissed off. Patrick Mahomes is pissed off. Travis Kelce's pissed off, and sorry boys, but that defense is going to run you into the ground. Give me the Chiefs.
Boots.
Did you see the look on Kelce's face after he not fumbled, but
drop that pass into an interception?
Pass. Yeah, and they showed him on the sidelines, and he's got his jaw halfway open and his tongue's kind of halfway hanging out of his mouth, and he looked pathetic.
Yep.
Pathetic. But I know that's what's going to motivate him going to motivate Patrick Mahomes the second. It's going to motivate Andy Reid to show Brian Daboll how to coach. Yeah, Kansas City all day.
There you go.
Yep.
Twice Sunday.
And last but not least, Monday Night Football, the big showdown, Lions and
And how is
Ravens.
that a Monday night game? And who would have thought that the Chiefs and the Giants both would be 0-2?
And
Well,
Sunday
you
night.
kind of figured that the Giants would be.
Yeah,
But
but
who
the
would have
Chiefs,
thought the Chiefs?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Last but not least, Lions versus Ravens. Lions coming off the big win, but look, the Ravens have always had the Lions number, and they beat on the Lions. Every time they play the Lions, they beat on them. I expect nothing less. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I mean, as much as I love my Detroit Lions, I took a look at this matchup and go, yeah, we're chalking up the L here. Give me the Baltimore Ravens.
One of those penciled-in victories for Baltimore. And, man, I would love to just stand up for Detroit. And I was all set because I knew you were just going to say something ridiculous and not give the Lions any love. And I was going to give the Lions all the love. But you didn't. You stuck true. You didn't drink the haterade as much as you normally do.
Look, I've seen this matchup before several times in the last couple of years.
I know.
And the Ravens, every time they take
I
on
know.
those Lions, they slap them around like a
know.
redheaded stepchild.
I know.
I don't even need to go into anything more than
I
that.
know.
We've
I
seen
know.
it.
We have. And I just got to say, stand up, Detroit. Let's go Lions.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, it's bold. It's bold.
And you know what the Lions can't handle? What? Running quarterbacks.
Oh no. Yeah, Lamar's gonna have a field day.
Yeah. So with that, those are our predictions.
Spoilers.
The upcoming Week 3 matchups. Before we get out of here, let's go ahead and give a shout out to some of our sponsors. First of all, It's Your Time Massage. Amanda's a wonderful massage therapist. She does excellent work over there at iytmassage.com, the best massage therapist in the Metro Detroit area. If you're looking for a massage, Swedish, deep tissue, she does CBD oil for a little bit extra, foot sugar scrub. She does red light therapy. She does cupping. You name it, man. She's amazing. She's the best at what she does. Check it out, iytmassage.com, or you can check her out at It's Your Time LLC on Facebook. Amanda will take good care of you over here. And folks, remember, it's your time. Also, let's go ahead and talk about Face Kicked Apparel. Sean Stockmeyer and his wonderful wife, Lisa, doing awesome stuff over there with all of their custom hats, hoodies, T-shirts, you name it, you pick it, they stick it over there at facekickedapparel.com. And boots, as per the norm.
Get your face kicked in with savings.
Absolutely. Also, let's talk about Patch Miracle Photography. Andrew Langland, his wife Chantel, they've been doing the most amazing work. Their photos are so beautiful. If you're looking for graduation photos,
What?
wedding photos,
What?
baby pictures,
What?
engagement pictures,
What?
first birthday pictures.
What?
If you're looking to do a special sexy boudoir shoot for that special someone in your life,
Turn out the lights.
oh God,
Light a candle.
check it out. PatchMiraclePhotography.com. Andrew made me look like a movie star on my wedding night.
That's right, Gary Oldman.
He's a classic actor too. I like him.
Classy guy. But they made me look like a movie star on my wedding night. They are awesome. They made our wedding photos just look absolutely wonderful. And they also, they always go out of their way and take the extra care to make your extra special day even more special. Check them out, patchmiraclephotography.com, or you can find them on Facebook at Patch Miracle Photography LLC. They'll take good care of you, and really just check them out. They're the best. Also, let's go ahead and talk about books. Boots.
Oh, those things that I don't read, but the things that you should, especially this book, I Ate Cookies Out of the Trash. You know, we had another sale the other day. That's right. Somebody out there in this wonderful, wonderful world bought this book, I Ate Cookies Out of the Trash, and you should too. You're going through some anxiety. You're going through some depression. You're going through maybe some weight loss issues, and you need some help, and you need to get coaching. There are stories of love, stories of wisdom, stories of heart There's stories of humor in this book. This is a personal look into the life of a wonderful author, Tammy Pruitt, and she brings you through it. Leaves you links that you can get help when you need the help. Get that help when you need it. Links and numbers that you can call and places you can go. But you know where you can't go to get this book?
The bookstore.
In a bookstore. You got to go online. You got to get on the internet. You got to type on the keyboard. Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, AppleBooks.com. Just look on the .com, doggone it. Search it. I ate cookies out of the trash. You buy the book, they'll deliver it right to your house. All you got to do is just go to the door, open it, baby, grab the book and read it.
It reads like a conversation.
But not a boring one.
Yeah.
And neither is this ad for it. You better talk to them. Tammy Pruitt putting you through it.
Yeah.
I ate cookies out of the trash.
Yeah, it's an excellent book. I really like that book. And also, Alex, we've got to talk about some of these streaming channels. First, let's go ahead and talk about the artist formerly known as Big Willie Dubs Gaming, now known as No Shot Bot TTV. Our buddy Will doing some great stuff over there on his channel, over on Twitch, over on YouTube, on Facebook, and on the TikTok. There's my old man moment for the day. You got to check him out. No Shot Bot TTV. It's so fun to watch Will do all the crazy antics and you know, it's not just gaming. There's stuff going on there. If you're into just, you know, Hot Ones Challenge, we've done the Hot Ones Challenge on other podcasts. I've been a part of that. Alex, you did the Hot Ones Challenge with me. We're thinking about doing it again, by the way, but we've done the Hot Ones Challenge and Will did it on his channel. And man, it was funny watching him cook his face off. But folks, check out No Shot Bot TTV. And Alex, you got stuff going on your channels as well, right?
That's right. The Steele Twins Gaming is firing on all cylinders. I will tell you this, you know, schedules have been difficult. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now that, you know, I haven't been on to stream in a whole lot. You know, I've been bringing you this wonderful football content, but Andrew at Steele Twins Andy, you know, he's been doing the Nostalgic Mondays. He's been doing the Legend of Zelda Tuesdays. He's been bringing you Super Mario Fridays. He's been bringing you Metroid Prime Sundays. We're very excited for the December 4th release of Metroid Prime 4. And that's, you know, that's definitely going to be a hot off the steel press title. That's another series we have. And of course, the flagship series, voice acting, we are currently in our 17th season. You heard it right. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, and all of our previous seasons are available in the playlists section of our YouTube channel. We call them the archives. Go check it out. You know, we're here to entertain you, and we really hope that, you know, we pick up a couple of extra listeners or watchers from this wonderful podcast. So, you know, do what you got to do. You know, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We're here for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Steele Twins Gaming. Check him out. I mean, Andy has been doing that. He's big with the Nostalgic Mondays. So, folks, check that out. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. Man, week 2's in the books. Week 3 incoming. And we've got Thursday Night Football currently going on. Yeah. So I hope everybody is watching that. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. And ladies and gentlemen, for the Bootleg Bettor, for Alex Steele, and myself, the fabulous one, Scotty Fraytown, we will see you next time right here on the Outside Blitz.
Yeah, you're probably talking about us because we're the only thing to talk about.
Ciao!